People, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him. What do we do now?
Back to them, or do you want to stay with Donald Trump?
Fuck Joe Biden.
Refuse to go along with this, and I'm seeing through all of your lies, Barack Obama, you wicked, wicked devil!
Frog. I don't know where everybody is. Nobody's talked to me yet. Nobody said if they're actually going to show up, if they're not going to show up. It might just be me. It sounds fun if it's me, I guess. This could be interesting if it's just going to be just me all day. Hey, Dragon Man, how's it going? I don't want to go too far because I know that some people have something that they actually want to watch. So I kind of maybe sit here and chit chat with you for a few minutes if you got something you'd like to talk to me about. I just don't want to move on too fast because there's some lots of interesting, fun things that have gone on in this United States of America and the rest of the world. Seems, I don't know if this seems to be acting up. My bubble seems to be huge. I don't know why. Normally that's not like that. Let's see here. Take a quick look, make sure everything's actually working for me. Looks like the YouTube side's working. Looks like everything's good there. So, there's Uvalde surveillance footage that had surfaced after I had already created thumbnail. Kind of want to go through that as well. I'm not sure if certain particular person's going to actually show up for that. If they're going to show up for that, I'll wait for them to show up. Everything else, I mean, you can see that thumbnail is just full of stuff. We can kind of maybe start with some of it. Unless Dragon Man has something good to talk about, we can actually talk to you instead for a little bit. We can talk. Yeah, sure. What's going on, man? How you doing? Anything fun happening in your neck of the woods? Should I send you a link? You want to come in here and talk to me for a little bit? How you want to do that? I know where everybody else is. Everybody else is busy. Everybody else is busy with watching Madcore. Eventually he'll end, and then everybody be looking for something else to watch, and then they'll hopefully come over and they'll kind of click in here for a few minutes and talk to me, you, and everybody else. Link, yeah, I'll throw you a link. I'm just gonna throw it. It's okay. I'm gonna throw it up here in the YouTube side. You can go ahead and you can click on that link to bring yourself in here. We can chit chat for a little bit. I have no clue what's going on with AmericaShirts. He hasn't said anything to me yet today. Hope everything's going okay for him. I know he has plenty to say about all these topics that are in this thumbnail. From Twitter suing Elon, Pedal Pete, J6, just so many things. It's almost ridiculous. It's all right, Dwight. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hopefully everything's going good for you tonight. We're just kind of waiting here for a few minutes to see if Dragon Man's going to hit that link here and he's going to bring himself in. We're going to chit chat for a little bit. There's Dragon Man. How's it going, my man?
Doing okay.
Doing okay? Yeah? Awesome.
Yeah.
What'd you do today?
Let's see. Still working from home, so it's kind of hot today. So I got the air conditioner on, but it'll warm up or get nasty in August, and then start getting into September. Then things will cool off. So summers aren't too bad here.
Sure. I'm on the other side of the mountain from you there, so we kind of. It was a cool day today. I'm assuming it's. I think it was supposed to be fairly warm tomorrow.
Well, where I'm at, if it gets up to 80 degrees, we're wimps, and that's hot for us. So,
Oh, sure. Yeah,
yeah.
see, it's 10 o'clock at night and it's still in the 70s. So, I mean, to me, it's hot.
Yeah. Let's see. Locally, I caught on the news that there was some guy yelling at a local representative's house, and I think he was arrested for, heckling or something like that. And, that's actually nothing really new. We're going to continue to see that for several years now. So, that's what's going on. But, it's really gotten to the point to where, when the kids use the term clown world, that's kind of where we're at now. And, and it's just,
Yeah, right. It is really a clown world. Things that are going, the way things are going right now, it's kind of sad, disgusting, very disturbing.
well, what's interesting is uh, if you go back even, let's say, to the 90s, when Obama was in office, things were still not uh, not as combative as they are now. I mean, there were tensions going on, but it probably wasn't until probably 7 years ago that things got nasty. Then
You say the 90s? You mean like 2008?
well, it's
Because I mean, Obama would have been, 2008, 2012.
well, I kind of think that when
Or are you talking like Senate wise?
no, I'm just talking just generally culture overall that that things were kind of on a low boil, and then around 2015 then things got really heated up, and I'm just amazed at how
Yeah, like that
combative
in
things are.
2014 when when Joel built the cages, because he would have been the vice president, so he would have been the guy that was the border czar at the time. When Joel built the cages and Obama allowed BLM to be ushered in without you know anything, it's just like it just let it go, let it flourish. It really did do a lot of harm to a lot of different people.
Well, one of the things also is interesting is the power of the news media to capture uh, and influence people. So, for example, uh, there's a retired police officer. His name is Rick Gore. He's called Good Luck America. He's down in Texas, and even though he's kind of a conservative guy, he's highly critical of police. He's extremely critical of police. So he's covered instances where where, there was the George Floyd incident. He has covered those type incidents occurring after George Floyd, but you never hear about them. And, all this interactions I know can be kind of controversial, but what I'm trying to say is we are being driven by the news media because things are just going on, uh, and people are just in an extremely reactive mode by what the news media presents to them, and it's really scary because the way that people can be influenced. I remember way back when there was the Rodney King thing, uh, and there were two incidences where police broke into some people's house and killed people, and these people had done nothing wrong, and nobody knows who these people are, and they lost their lives. And Rodney King, was beaten up, and the reason we know that is from the videotape. So it's just kind of a bizarre world where there's perception and then there's truth, and what you're being fed. I know there was a commenter. Her name was Lauren Southern.
Oh yeah.
She's yeah. She posted kind of like a 3 hour long where she talks about all the things that happened to her in her career, and and it was sort of like all the dirt that goes on with some of these celebrities that most people don't know about. And apparently she's doing well. She was not someone I followed particularly, but I really do like the idea of the citizen journalist, the person that just all by themselves goes out and reports on things, because they do more objective reporting. They don't really give as much of a slant as what you'll get on the major newspapers or news media. But yeah, so those are some of the things that have been going on. So that kind of just causes, I think, a person just needs to basically assess, who are your affiliations and where do you get your, where is your community, whether it's your church or your neighborhood or where you work at, because like I say, there's a lot of different subgroups out there that I've never heard of before. Like you hear of these MGTOWs, and the which 10 years ago, what's a MGTOW? And then when the abortion thing came on, uh, there was like a protest groups where they said, gays against and atheists against abortion. So you kind of have these people where they say my group is, I'm an atheist person, who I guess maybe is gay. I'm not real sure if they were in all these different categories or if they were all together, but they all held the view that they were opposed to abortion. So it's real interesting. This is a new phenomenon that I'm seeing now, that, like I say, in a very short time ago, you would have just said, well, what is your religion, if any? And do you primarily just vote Republican or Democrat? And that would be it. So it's sort of this existentialist stuff where you kind of have to find your way. You just can't say I'm an American and that's your identity. That's just, I'm just thinking of this off the top of my head as we talk.
No, yeah, that's fine. So then here, let's do this real quick. And it says, Dwight says they will win eventually. It's an unfortunate truth, but they will keep playing dirty until they win or did. The left will stab you in the back and lie, and the right wants to be honest, but we got the guns, baby. And he says handguns are responsible for more deaths than any other gun, but aren't scared of the handguns. They're scared of what they're scared of people that will attack tyranny. And yeah, I mean, I get what he's saying there, because I mean, really, like they label guns, armor light guns as assault rifles, and they really kind of look the wrong way when they actually talk about gun deaths and everything else that's going on with that kind of stuff. Um, it to me it, to me the government really needs to actually step up and actually start thinking about different ways of actually trying to prevent certain things from happening. They're like, oh, we take away your guns and you won't have any, and then people won't die. And it's like, well, that's not true, because a criminal's still going to walk down the street and they're going to pick up a gun or wherever they can find it, and they're going to use it for whatever they need to use it for.
Well, one of the things I think kind of what Zombie said, there some people think that starting with the creation of the country, there's always been this, kind of this view that we get from the Puritan tradition of this crusader mentality, that you have to spread the gospel, if you will, the secular gospel, throughout the world and the country. And it's interesting is that there were like 4 different ethnic groups that came out of England. I think 2 settled in the South, and then the Puritans settled in the North. And these people had ethnic connections to England. And the people in the South were more of a conservative mindset and were not in a, let's make the world a better place to live. They weren't into that. Whereas people in the North, where a lot of the power was, that was more their mindset. And so, kind of piggybacking off what Zombie said, is that they, it's kind of like people in rural areas just want to be left alone to live their lives, and then people in the cities want to do that. But I'm really thinking that there may be a trend going where functionally people simply will enforce the laws or not enforce the laws that they want to do or not want to do. Kind of like with progressive people, it's kind of like with drugs and with immigration. And I think some people are kind of saying, we don't really care what the Supreme Court says, we're going to do that. And so conceivably that could go for conservatives as well, potentially. So yeah, we're not a United States. We're kind of
Divided states, yeah, right?
Yeah, and some people would argue we're actually 9 different countries, for various reasons. Like South Louisiana is its own little thing.
Yeah, I've heard people say 9, and I've heard people say 7, and they count like major metropolitan areas as being, each one of them being, almost their own country per se. And each time that you actually look at each one of them, you see the difference in demographic, you see the difference in culture, you see the difference in a lot of things, and it's really kind of scary and interesting at the same time when you actually see how separated each area really is. Though we kind of try saying that we're all the same, I really don't see how everybody can really be that much the same. It seems there's more separation than there is anything.
Well, I remember I've seen some things on the internet where people that live in rural New Jersey, in rural Massachusetts, or upstate New York, and their value systems are going to be more in line with, someone living in rural Georgia or Wyoming, uh, you know, because there's more of a sense of freedom or sense of independence. And even though there will be some cultural differences between the guy living in rural Georgia and in rural New Jersey, uh, but yeah, there are some similarities. I think that's one of the problems with this view of identity, where people just kind of arbitrarily take on an identity, and then you discount anyone that doesn't fit this, strict definition of that. And like I say, I'm old enough to remember where you could just call yourself an American, and whether you were from Florida or New York or Montana, and it really didn't matter. But again, during that time frame, there was the Soviet Union, and there's this concern of nuclear warfare, and with that going away, uh,
Which almost seems like it's like rearing its head again. Like it could be something that we could possibly be looking at, but there seems to be an awful lot of people that don't think that that could ever happen again. Though there's so many nuclear weapons that are available to several different countries, that once one of them does one thing, the whole thing is gonna it's gonna be horrible.
well,
Dwight says that the brainwashing has killed American pride. We need that back. Yeah, sadly, I agree with him on that one. That American pride really has gone away. I totally remember being, elementary school. Again, I'm 45 years old. I remember sitting in elementary school and being one of the flag bearers, where we would actually go and would raise the flag every day, and then we'd stand there as the flag was, would hit the top, and we would start the Pledge of Allegiance, and the whole school would follow along. And I really don't see that happening anymore. It's kind of disturbing. My daughter says that they still do, which is awesome. I'm glad that they still do. But when I try talking to her about certain things, she just she's like totally in this mindset that I'm wrong, and that her teachers told her different, and I'm like, well, just because your teacher's telling you something doesn't mean that they're always right. These kids these days think that that's what it is the teacher's right. The teacher's always going to be right, and their opinions these days really suck. We've done like special TikTok Thursdays or whatever, and we've gone through like some of these teachers from different states that are actually producing children that are, needing to identify as something. And I'm like, that's not what they need to be going to school for. They need to go to school and learn history. Now, in the state of Minnesota, I don't know what it's like here, but in the state of Minnesota, where I was from, I totally remember this bill that they had passed in the last few years, where they took away history class, because they say it's racist, and I'm like, well, wait a minute here. This is the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, who's actually a teacher, signing a bill saying that we don't need to teach history anymore. And I'm like, well, what makes a teacher say us? And I'm sick of teaching these kids about World War One, World War Two, and everything that had gone along with all that, all the racism that was being spewed and peddled. And it's like, they're like, oh, we don't want to actually teach that to these kids anymore. We just want to teach them that they're humans and that they can identify as whatever they'd like to identify as. And I'm like, you're forgetting about people like my grandfather, who actually landed on the beaches of Normandy and fought against communists. And I'm like, you're just gonna just forget that ever happened? Are you going to eventually go to the point of eradicating these massive cemeteries and monuments that have been produced for these people that have gone and done all this? Because if that's the case, that's going to get really sad really fast, and you're never going to learn from it. And that's what you learn from, is you learn from your past and all the things that I really think that there's going to be some major issues come through.
Well, two things. Potentially, as a young person, when you're very young, you just absorb all this stuff and take it at face value. And then as you grow older, you re-examine it and then come to your own conclusions and look back on your teachers, and you kind of noticed, oh, they're in other words, you discount what you've been taught. The other thing also is we kind of have all this technology at our fingertips, and there's a certain amount of arrogance that we have that makes us feel superior to the people that came before us. And so Grandpa was a dummy, but I've got a smartphone and I know more. So, and the Greeks talk all the time about arrogance. So I think that as people grow older, but, I think also, a part of our society is pragmatism, meaning what is the value to this? So kids are being told a lot of stuff that, it's like, how is this actually going to help them? Because, Americans are kind of an anti-intellectual people. The French are very intellectual. So some of this stuff, if you will, this mindset that is being taught by their teachers may not rub off on the students, but I think also, at certain ages, kids are open to certain things and they don't need to be given more. In other words, you don't need to expect a child to drink water from a fire hydrant, and but yeah, I the society that we live in is
That was our sports drink back in the day. We'd go grab the garden hose and take a big swig.
Yeah, and you could actually get a drink from it, and it was okay.
And usually made sure that you ran it for a minute or two so that it wasn't hot and it was actually pumping cold water. But
well, that's something else. Well, that's something else. Is the way that kids are growing up now, because you and I didn't have internet when we were kids. We went outside, played in the backyard with our trucks, and there was a certain amount of socialization that went on. And now with the internet, kids are growing up differently.
It was so easy back then to actually just walk down to the park and join the pickup football game or baseball game or whatever it was, and just have fun with all the kids in the neighborhood. And it wasn't just like one or two, it was like 20 to 30 kids at a time that would all be at the park together, having fun. And you just like you'd create these games on purpose because you're like, everybody needs to have some fun, let's do this. And seriously, look at my children or whatever, and they like, even my oldest, being in his 20s now or whatever, when he was sitting in high school, he'd be like, go outside, go play with your friends. And he's like, I don't have any friends. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have any friends? Go play with your friends, man. You have friends. He's like, they all wanted to go play cards. I'm like, go play cards. They don't care. Have fun. Or I don't. They end up finding the storefront that would allow them to come in and sit at a table and play, Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever it was, and they just sit around playing card games all day. I'm like, he'd come home and be like, I'm hungry. I'm like, you're hungry? What'd you do today? Oh, we sat down there and we did this, that, and the other playing these games. And I'm like, did you go outside at all? Did you run down the street? No. I'm like, well, then I guess we're gonna, I'm like, I knew a little bit better than to feed him, straight up bread or whatever. And be like, I guess we're gonna have to cook a good steak or whatever and give him something decent to eat, so that way, his body wouldn't consume itself and turn himself into a big fat blob from sitting around all day. I'm like, if you'd go run around, I'd give you a piece of bread, give you a potato, but you're not going to, if you're just going to sit around, I'm not going to feed you that stuff because it's not going to burn off. You need to burn that stuff off. Go for a run. You're like, run? I don't want to run. I'm like, go grab the bike and go for a bike ride. I won't go for a bike ride. That doesn't sound like fun. I'm like, kids, it's horrible. They don't want to do shit because they're like, oh, I have this phone and it's strapped to my face and I don't have to do anything but look at the phone and listen to some random person sit there and whatever they're watching. I really had no clue what he would be watching. Just he's like, I'm gonna go sit down in my room. We're like, okay, go outside. No, it's too hot outside. And it's like we're complaining, it's in its 70s, it's too warm right now. You're like, it's 65 degrees, it's beautiful outside. And you're like, it's too hot, I don't want to go outside. Let's see here, it's Dwight talking about. Dwight says, but if the enemy in the inside, what can we do? Agreed. One of the 7 deadly sins is going to take down the whole country, or at least cause an internal war. Chase lizards, put shit in people's front doors, and ring the doorbell. It's sad we have tell kids how to get into trouble. Oh, yeah. I totally remember playing Ding Dong Ditch, and that was one of the funnest things to do, is go ring somebody's doorbell, and then everybody go scurry and hide because there weren't street lights or whatever that would be illuminating us or whatever. We just go hide behind the tree, they wouldn't see us. And then once they'd be like, you kids, we just all giggle and laugh and go run away.
Yeah, and kids don't do that anymore.
No, they don't.
I think the country that I grew up in was kind of formed in 1945. That was the America that I grew up in. And when you get to the late 1960s, that America starts to crumble. And this is what we have now, but, what we're experiencing now. But, when I rode my bike, there were no helmets. Kids didn't have to wear helmets with their bicycles. You
right.
Rode your bicycle.
Right, we just rode our bicycle. If you fell down and you skunned a knee, that was a good thing. You get back up and you get back on the bike.
And
to go along with you remembering things as a kid, doing things that we didn't need to do nowadays. Like I remember laying in the back window of my dad's 77 Chevy Nova that had this big, huge space between the seat and the back window.
Yeah.
Would lay in that window and take a nap.
Was that a 4-door or 2-door Nova?
I believe it was a 2-door, if I'm not mistaken, because when we
I thought the 2-door
I think
Nova.
I don't remember. I just remember laying in the back window. It was dark green. It was one of the funnest things that we ever did because it was like it was just an old car, and Dad liked his cars, so he'd soup it up, and you could hear the car rumbling.
Yeah, what I remember, is the for cars like that in that time frame, it was good to put like mag wheels on them and wide tires, and then jack up the back so that the back would sit, like 18 inches or so that your rear part of your car is up.
Yeah.
And I think now the latest I've heard now is that kids want things lower, but I don't know. But that's what during that time frame that was the cool thing to do if you had a cool looking car like that.
Yeah. I remember that car. I think it was a 4-door now that I actually think about it, because we'd actually, three of us boys would sit together in the back seat, and one of us would whoever was sitting in the center, which is usually me, I'd go and I'd get up, because that hump that would sit all the way through the center of the car from where the transmission would sit or whatever, you'd go and you'd climb up into the into that back window so that you didn't have your knees up in your chest while you're driving down the road.
Yeah, and the other thing, that's happened is, there was child protective services, and with domestic abuse, if a man and a wife got into a fight, it was kind of like that was their thing. How they disciplined their kids, that was their business. And so it's kind of like some of the destructiveness from the 1960s kind of enabled the government to step in to become the parent, because we had kind of destroyed certain things that we just
Sure.
took for granted,
Yeah,
So
yeah, no, and I remember in the early '80s, it's it would probably be like 84, 85, somewhere in there. I wouldn't have been old enough to actually think for myself. I would have been like 7 years old or something, and I remember tripping over the handle of a garden rake and having that stick into my kneecap and having to put a leg brace on, put a cast on it or whatever, and I actually have to, walk around for a few months. Like summer sucked that year. And it just so happened to be that I still had it on for a good month or whatever as school had started. And that Child Protective Services or whatever had come to the house because the school assumed that my parents were beating me because I had a broken leg. They come to the house and they ask questions, and my parents just looking at me like, "You got to be kidding me right now." Whatever, and they threw their fit against this protective services or whatever, and then they end up asking me, they're like, "What happened?" And I explained to them what happened, that I had tripped and fell, and I explained the whole story, that my older brother picked me up off the rake and ran me to the house, and my mom sticks her pinky in my knee and go jump into that Nova and take the Nova up to the hospital, to get this all fixed and repaired or whatever. And it explained the whole story, and they're like, "Oh, he told us a pretty thorough story. I'm kind of surprised that they let it go." And it was like, like, when you, Dwight, are you drunk? Dwight's like, hey, throw me a link. Are you drunk? He says, I'm not all messed up tonight, so we'll see what we can do for him. There you go, Dwight. You can attach that one if you want to come in here and join us for a few. Again, as soon as, AmericaShirts decides to actually show up and we actually have a show running, I might kick you or whatever to actually do the show.
You and him make a great team together.
I agree. He's like the best co-host ever. If I didn't have him, I don't see myself being this far along, being on episode 124, 125, whatever it is, and having 127 subs, 128 subs, whatever it is. It went up to 129 today and come back down to 128. So it's like somebody come in, clicked on the video and said, he's on the right. We don't like his politics. There's a lot of people that don't.
Well, it would be nice to be able to be best friends with a lot of people, but it's kind of like people are starting to see are kind of self-segregating. It's kind of like if you go over to experts channel.
Look at that, me and 2Ds.
Yeah, how about that? Hey, Zombie, how you doing?
What's up, Dwight? Yeah, that's a fun conversation that we always have. You got to turn on your microphone or something. Something's not working.
Yeah, it took me a while to kind of click on this, click on that, and as to what
once you actually do it once or twice or whatever, it kind of leaves the defaults for you, so that way you can actually just kind of pop in and out.
Yeah,
but let's see what Dwight said in chat. He says, "But people that are fucked up never think they're fucked up." And yeah, I mean,
or sometimes.
And if he's talking about when you're actually drinking and you actually get yourself to that, there's a level of happiness, and then a sip later is too much, and you actually put yourself into that spot where you're like, now I'm angry and I'm pissed off and I just want to fight. And anyway, that's the way it is for me. Anyway, and that's why I really usually don't drink all that often. I know there's a couple streams that I had, from when I first started or whatever, where I did actually have a bottle, and I would actually drink a couple glasses of whiskey a night, just to whatever, give me something different to feel while I'm actually trying to hold a conversation. And I found out in the last few months or whatever that it's not really the best thing for me. I go back and listen to some of those episodes where I actually did drink, and I'm like, God, I just sound so stupid, and my speech is slurred. Thoughts just aren't even come close to what they are now.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, I once had that situation where I accidentally got drunk where I wasn't feeling it, and I made the mistake of buying a beer that I hadn't drunk before, and I think it was like 5 or 7% alcohol that I really wasn't used to drinking, and that was a problem for me, and I haven't repeated that.
Hey, what's up, man? Can you guys hear me?
There
Absolutely.
You are. Dude, I watched I rewatched the stream from yesterday, and I was so fucking worried about it, because I was like, how much of an ass did I make myself?
You didn't really. It was the conversation. Like, we could only hear like the first 2 words and the last 2 words of each sentence.
Yeah,
Like,
thank God for my internet being shit. I was so happy that my internet was shit. I was like, because I was fucking blacked out, dude. Like, well, not I won't say blacked out because I remembered having the conversations, but I was fucking trashed, bad. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Getting on internet streams, talking to people when I can't even walk. You know, it's bad. I went to my old lady's work. You know, I got off work. I went to her work. She probably served me a little too much, and then I came home and yeah, I was fucked, man. It was bad. Am I coming through? Can you guys hear me?
No, you're actually coming through today. It's actually you're actually, you know, like you have a really good connection at the moment.
That's good. That's good. But yeah, I got fucked up. I got fucked up, and then I was like, and then we were arguing. I was arguing with my old lady, so I was like, well, fuck her, let her go to bed, and I want to talk politics, and fuck, dude, I couldn't even.
And you couldn't even do that right.
Yeah, I couldn't even do that right. Yeah, it was fucked up. But my apologies.
No, it's fine. We all kind of took it in stride. We're like, well, hopefully he figures out what
did, bro. You guys
out.
were so like fucking patient with me. I was pretty amazed. I was like, these guys fucking like, you should have kicked me way before that. but
well,
yeah.
you know, we had things that, you know, AmericaShirts had, you know, if you actually listen to the rest of it or whatever, that he had a personal story that he wanted to get out, but he wanted to make sure that there's enough people around. And I think when you were in here, we had like 8 people that were like in the room watching. And then as you left, and he's like, all right, just do it. He's like 2 people. I'm like,
well, hey,
like,
you know, I don't even stream, and I've got 10 followers, so you know, I must be somewhat entertaining to some people. But I'm sorry. What was the topic that we were on?
We were just rambling because seriously, I have like 10 different things that are sitting in the cart or whatever, but the bunch of them I know AmericaShirts would have thoughts and opinions on, and that's why I'm like, we'll just chit chat until he decides to show up. Usually he says something and says, I'm gonna be late.
I love AmericaShirts, man, but I fucking, there's something in me that like wants to pick on him all the time. Like I don't know what.
No,
like,
that's the way. Seriously, I'm the same way with like Outpost Nerd. If Nerd ever shows up for whatever reason, I just feel the need to pick on him and tease him for being short, you know, or what. And it's just like, I don't know why I do that, because I even tell him afterwards to be like, sorry, man, it was all in good fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I mean, I called it out the first time I ever went on your stream. I was like, oh, I called it. Like I thought you were a black dude and he was a virgin, and
you got half of it right.
yeah, I got half of it right. Yeah, I got half of it right.
I'm not a black dude.
Hey, your opinions would matter a lot more if you were, though, huh? Maybe.
Yeah, probably. I probably wouldn't be so scared to turn on my camera and let everybody see what I look like.
Right? Yeah.
That would get me, you know.
White people. I turn red all the fucking time over the stupidest shit. It fucking irritates the fuck out of me.
I wouldn't turn the camera on. Just me.
Well, you know, see, I've actually made a deal with everything or whatever, where I said if I hit the 1,000 subs, and you know, it doesn't matter the time frame or whatever. Is the second I hit the 1,000 subs, and I actually, you know, can actually go click on a button that would actually monetize me, that I would turn on a camera because then I would go and buy shirts from AmericaShirts, and I would actually promote the shirts. You know, this is what he's selling or whatever, just to whatever
Well,
have fun with it.
I don't think people are listening to you to see your ugly ass, but it does help.
Oh, if you knew, if you knew.
Uh, oh, I'm sure you're pretty, but it does it does help with sincerity, you know, like if you're gonna state an opinion and you actually show your face, that means like I'm fucking sincere about what the fuck I'm talking about. But if you just got like a little fucking emoji or whatever the fuck, what you got, Joe Biden holding an American flag or some shit on your
Are you
thing?
kidding me? That's Donald Trump.
I don't know what the
That's
fuck it is.
Donald Trump holding a bald eagle standing on front of American flag. I did that for the month
Okay,
of July.
okay. I don't know. My act's a little bad, but I'm just saying if you show your face, like the sincerity shows more because you don't get to hide behind Donald Trump and his fucking bald eagle. Dogging on you a little bit, Koolfrogg. Don't
No,
take
it's okay. It's okay. You can do that.
no offense, bro.
I got a backbone. I can handle it.
Yeah, well, I had made a post on Facebook, which is very fucking evil. Fuck Facebook. But I said an octopus has 8 brains and no backbone, and I said I'd rather argue with a guinea pig because at least a pig has a fucking backbone. I don't care how many fucking brains you got. The backbone's more important than the fucking brains, in my opinion. Gotta have some fucking balls, son. Gotta have some balls.
Well, that's something that people don't pay a lot of attention to now is this notion of respect. It's like you can respect someone and not like them. And I don't know if people today make that distinction as much as
I don't know if they're taught that like we were when we were kids. We were taught to respect our elders. If you didn't respect your elders, you're told to, hey, go respect your elders. You don't treat them with disrespect. Doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter how you feel about them. Just always treat them with respect, because one day you're gonna be in a predicament, and that one person's gonna be in front of you, and they'll remember the respect or lack of respect that you had
I
for them, and they're gonna treat you the way you treated them.
I think that whole like respect statement. I think it's kind of fucked up. Like, uh, you should not just give people respect automatically.
No, I agree
But
with you on some of that.
but
Because
you
when it comes to
you
certain things like your job,
you
when
should
somebody
you
says you show me respect because I pay you, it's like, no, I'm not going to show you respect because you pay me. That has nothing
right.
to do with each other.
Yeah.
One thing's
Yeah,
in one
yeah.
hand, the
Fuck
other's in
you.
the other.
Yeah, I can find some fucker to
But if
pay
you
me.
want respect,
Yeah.
you show me some respect, I'll show it back.
But
I've dealt with bosses that are just assholes. So
yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like you need to. It's not that it's not that you need to show respect. It's a courtesy. Respect is a courtesy.
no,
Until you find out,
as a child, when you're
until you
actually
find out,
growing up in
until
your
you find
elementary school years,
if
to show
someone's an
respect
asshole
to
or
your
if they're not an
elders.
asshole. Like I'm not gonna fucking respect everybody. I'm not like if I don't know you, I'm not gonna respect you, but I'm gonna give you the courtesy of being polite, and I'm not gonna be a fucking asshole to you. Now, if you end up being an asshole, then yeah, I'll yeah, I'm not gonna be an asshole back, but I'm not gonna give a shit about what you have to say or what to think or whatever. It's just to be business as usual. But to just like respect people, you can't respect people just because they exist. Like, fuck that. I don't know. But Koolfrogg,
Well,
I got a question for you. Is this the first time you've had your you've been face down in between pair of double D's?
No, I've been between two double D's several times. Oh man.
I was just wondering.
Koolfrogg, it's getting about my bedtime. If it was a Friday night, I'd go till 12 or 1, but since it's a weeknight, I'm gonna have to call it a night here.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thanks for joining me.
I enjoyed it, and I'll check in and at least be in the chat next time, and hopefully America's Shirts will be able to make it, and you guys can cover what's going on with all the stuff out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Dragon
would presume
Man.
that he would eventually try coming out tonight at some point in time, and hopefully we'll just run the show right after
What's the deal with
after
shirt?
this. I don't know. Normally, he lets me know if he's going to be late, if something's going on. And
Hey,
he
maybe he's
hasn't
getting
said
lazy,
anything.
bro.
So
Maybe he's getting late.
Good night, guys. Take care.
All right, later, Dragon Man.
Dragon Man, you're the shit, bro. Later.
So,
well, shit, Koolfrogg. Never had a fucking one-on-one conversation with you. What you want to talk about?
Hey, well, we can talk about just about anything. We can ramble. We can actually go and we can. Did you check out see the footage of the Uvalde shooting?
Dude, no,
They
stayed.
released that footage today of all the body cameras and it's very interesting. I didn't actually add it to the queue of things to actually watch because I had created the thumbnail before they released it.
I tried
we
to.
can watch that if you're interested.
I'd be down.
What?
I mean, I guess I'd be down with that, but I
just
try
a few
to
minutes.
stay away from that. Try to stay from that shit because it's only because of my own conscience, or not my conscience, but my I don't know. It's not. I don't like not pretty shit. Like I try to pretend that shit.
It is graphic in itself. I mean, it's not, but it's not like you can actually see him actually going in and actually doing whatever. You can hear it.
Like you said you were 45, right? So you were around the Faces of Death era. Did you watch that shit?
No.
Yeah, there was like a VHS tape that was just like people fucking blowing their heads off and like all kinds of fucking nasty shit. My friends would watch that shit, and I'd be like, "What the fuck's wrong? Why would you guys want to see this fucking ugly nastiness of?"
Yeah, and like I said, you can't. There's nothing like that. You can't see him actually doing anything to anybody in particular. You can't, nothing like that. It's just that you can hear what's going on.
Well, before you play it, will you give me a backstory, because I really haven't kept up with it. I've heard people talk.
Okay,
about
so this is the Robb Elementary School out of Texas. This
Frog?
is the dude that
called Frog.
Robb 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 Elementary.
Okay. That's gonna be like that.
Dude goes and enters the school, and he enters a particular classroom and like shoots up the whole classroom, takes out almost everybody in there, and
how long?
Eventually the cops come in and they actually take him out as well. Hey, Medic Mitchell, how's it going?
How long did this happen?
This happened. This is from May 24th. So, like they
We're
just
a couple months.
released this footage. This footage that we're actually going to view has not been. But like I said, it was just released. I actually watched it real quick, whatever the 4 minutes and some odd seconds, just to be sure how violent it was. And really, it's the gunshots that can potentially scare people. Fair warning that you can hear lots of gunshots. Okay, I'm gonna hit play.
I know.
Button.
I probably sound like shit because I'm hearing you sounding like shit because my internet's shit. Is this an elementary school, middle school, high school? What is it?
It's an elementary school. Elementary. Yeah.
That's
that in itself can be disturbing.
Yeah, that's just.
So you can see on May 24th, it says the surveillance video catches.
Why don't these motherfuckers just fucking blow their own brains out? Why do they gotta fucking fuck with kids and do shit like that? It's
right. So they crashed this car. So when you see these two running, it's because somebody that's over here is shooting at the two that are running. So it says teacher called 911 to report a gunman. So the kids are running, it says. You hear the teacher saying, "Oh my God." The gunman begins shooting at the school from the parking lot. So he's standing out here shooting at the school.
I hope they kill this guy.
Look at that. It said a bystander was standing there.
Wait. Pause real quick. Did they kill this guy?
Yeah, they do take him out.
Oh,
they take him out eventually, but it takes some time before they actually show up. That's the hard part. Is the time frame of him entering the school into the time frame of the police actually showing up to actually take care of the situation. It is a very
that's
45 minutes.
Okay, I know which one you're talking about then. Okay, yeah, because they were out there for like a fucking hour. But
we've talked about this one. I'm not necessarily you and me, but we've actually talked about this particular incidents several times on show. So
I'd rather have the dude in solitary.
See, it says 11:33. He entered the school.
I'd rather have him in solitary confinement for the rest of his life with 1 hour of sunlight every day than be dead. Because that's what
a young student comes around the corner and witnesses this, and it says the gunman fires his AR-15 inside the two classrooms for 2.5 minutes. Authorities say more than 100 rounds were fired.
Fucking piece of shit.
See, now here's a couple cops, and this is 3 minutes later. There's a couple of them that go ahead.
Okay.
And there's one that's behind. And he's like signaling to anybody else behind him, stay behind me, stay behind.
Dude, if it was adults, maybe I'd wait a little bit. But with kids, I'm gonna fucking kill that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like what?
Yeah, exactly. It's like you just did what? No, you're done. And I mean, obviously, you'd want to actually psychoanalyze the guy and actually find out what actually was driving him to do such a thing.
Dude, dude, that dude's fucking dead, bro. I don't give a fuck.
No, right, exactly. I mean, that's why I said at one side of it, I would like to actually psychoanalyze the guy and see what actually caused him to actually want to do this. What made this actually come up? What
psychoanalyzation? This dude's trying to shoot it.
Well,
I will risk my life.
See, 4 minutes later, look at that. They're all running away from it. They're like, "Oh, okay, let's get out of here. Get out of here. Back up."
Fucking pussy.
Look at this. 19 minutes later, more heavily armed officers continue. It's like 31 minutes later, 36 minutes later, still no rescue attempt has happened. 48 minutes later, the gunman is heard firing 4 more rounds.
I would fucking die for kids, dude. I have these pussy fucking bitches. What pieces of shit? go in there and kill that motherfucker.
And you see them. They they got shields up. They're like, okay, let's do what we can. Let's go see what we can do. Dude says, I'm gonna sanitize my hands at 57 minutes.
I'd throw the fucking bad shot.
77 minutes later, officers breached and killed the gunman. 77 minutes later. It took them that long to actually finally go into that classroom to actually take care of the gunman.
That's so
now they have to now that they've actually taken care of the gunman and they actually isolated the situation to the point where hopefully they isolated it to the point where they can actually bring in medics to take care of these children that have been shot over an hour before.
I don't give a fuck. If you're killing grown-ups, I don't give a fuck. But if you're killing kids, I will. Fuck, dude, that's so fucked up.
I know it's so messed up in so many levels.
Like I don't even care.
So
I don't care. I don't care what the protocol is. I don't care. I'm at that point. I'm being a human. You know, I have a gun on me. There's a dude with a gun and he's killing kids. I have a gun. I can take his ass out, or I can die trying. You know, but I'm not gonna fucking. Jesus Christ, these dudes are just fuck that. I don't give a fuck. Like
No, dude, I feel the same way. I really do. I mean, it's like this dude had enough time to actually do what he had done.
Fuck your protocol and fuck your
exactly. See, there you go. Here's Medic Mitchell. But what happens if you miss and you hit a kid? Well, you know, you pay the consequences for everything that you do. But you know, if you know. If I was one of those first original cops, I would hope that I would have had the guts to go walk up in there and take care of the situation immediately, instead of calling for backup, calling for somebody else to come in here with more weapons, because it took them after 60 some odd minutes for the guy to actually shoot off 4 more rounds.
60 some odd minutes. That's more than an hour, bro. That's more than an hour, dude.
Exactly. It was 77 minutes before they actually entered that room and took him out.
Dude,
it's like, what in the world would take somebody so long to say, oh, I better not go in there to take care of this situation? I know you're scared. You're scared for your own life. You're scared that you're going to get taken out as well.
But
you're an officer of the law. You're trained to do this stuff.
How many kids' lives, man? And the kids' lives are more important than yours. As a grown adult, you fucking balls up and you fucking go in there and you fucking be a man. You don't fucking let this dude go killing kids because you're worried about fucking you. If you're married and you have kids, they'll get money from fucking whatever. They'll be taken care of because you're a fucking cop and you died in the fucking duty. I mean,
look at that. It's AmericaShirts.
You don't fuck with that, man. You go in there and you fuck shit up. You fucking kill that motherfucker.
Yeah, you tell him.
Hey, sorry, bro. If my internet is bad. Dude, sorry if I pick on you a little bit. It's only because like.
No, it was just yesterday we were just trying to get some things out, and you were a little bit tipsy there, if you know what I'm saying. And on top of that, like if the internet was really bad on your end, like it was, oh my god, every other word was like bloop 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 bloop.
He said he went back and watched it. So.
Oh my god.
A little bit tipsy is a nice way to put it. I appreciate that. That was fucking trash.
I'd just like to let everybody know
what's going on today, but it seems as all of us are super, super loud, and it's great. I love it. We're not sitting there trying to yell at a microphone. You see, all of our bubbles are just huge, taking up lots of space. I have no clue what I did to change that. I have no clue what I did.
Just like to tell everybody happy belated Taco Tuesday here. Flotus cares deeply about all the tacos out there.
Well, it's still Taco Tuesday for a couple of us because we live in the mountains.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. So yeah, happy Taco Tuesday to everybody.
Hey! I live in New Mexico, so every Tuesday is Taco Tuesday, bro. And it's not Taco Bell Taco Tuesday. Even at my work, it's Taco Tuesday.
But we can't get those things.
I don't know if we should play this right now.
I mean, so he's killed by a cum shot, comes in and says, "Taco Tuesday, I came in just in time."
Yes, you did.
Now.
You came in just in time.
Oh, well, so that was the first hour. Was seriously Dragon Man come in here and was holding the conversation with me. Dwight come in and was talking with us.
Oh,
we just kind of chewing the shit for the last hour and 10 minutes. The last 10 minutes, we actually did watch the released footage of from the Uvalde shooting.
Oh yeah, I had that pulled up there when I was trying to join in. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we did watch that. Disturbing how long it took them to actually come in and actually do something.
Oh yeah, that's a bunch of shit.
Not just
they totally let it. I mean, in my opinion, they just let it happen. I mean, there's no excuse.
Disparaging.
No excuse.
Disparaging. Not disturbing, disparaging. It's fucking no fucking excuse for that shit. That's fucking it's disgusting. And did not have the fucking like I said, like I said earlier, if it was fucking adults, maybe, but about that. No, you go in and you fucking what you have to do. You risk your life. Is my internet coming in as shit still?
No, it's coming in pretty well.
Yeah, I live in the boonies. I like grass and like.
Now Koolfrog's on.
Oh
well, hello there, Wheelrolls. Wait, how do I say that? Wheelroll Sport Raleigh. I think I said that right. How do you do? Happy Taco Tuesday.
Hey, maybe he's putting us to a test. Shirts. Maybe he's seeing how we argue.
Killed says, "Make me a taco now." I actually made myself something Spanish inspired today. And I have something Spanish inspired in front of me now. I've had a very late, really wacky day today. I'm just now eating my dinner.
You have something Spanish in front of you?
Yeah. It's Taco Tuesday.
Oh.
Got to celebrate with Flotus,
No, well, that just makes me racist, man.
Just love it so much. Like it's so fantastic. Now every Tuesday is going to be Flotus's Taco Tuesday. It's going to be freaking Jill Biden's Taco Tuesday, and everybody's going to be posting her with like some freaking mustache and like some freaking Mexican music playing in the background.
So I saw this video recently that was where Joe Biden was he's reading off, and he literally I don't know, they might be doing this on purpose. I thought they might be doing it on purpose, but he says he like read something and he says, "End of quote, repeat the thing you said, whatever the fuck."
And repeat the line.
And repeat the line, and then he just kept reading, and I'm thinking to myself, are they trying to make him an idiot?
I'm back.
So are they trying to make an idiot so they can have stronger like if you make him that stupid, it's easy to have a democratic fucking dude to run in the next election. But it's I don't know. I don't know if it was if he's like that fucking dumb. Like end of quote. Like do they put it in text where it says end of quote? Or
he's reading off of a teleprompter. That's the problem.
I know, but I'm trying to think a little deep about it. Are they putting end of quote as you don't need to say end of quote. Like you don't need to put that on teleprompter.
The thing is he reads whatever he sees on his screen. So then he's like,
and
he's
then
seen the quote, he read the quote, and he said, end of quote, repeat the line. And it's like, you're not supposed to say end of quote, repeat the line. You're supposed to. And they're trying to change transcript on that. If you actually go and you dig around on the transcript, it actually they're trying to say that it actually said that he was supposed to say, let me repeat the line. It's like, no, he didn't say let me. He never said let me, and there was no let me that was in that teleprompter. It was just a repeat the quote.
It's from John talking. Like, it's probably I don't know. I what they throw at me.
I mean, Joe Biden has been a dumbass most of his life, and now he's had 2 brain surgeries because he's had 2 or 3 aneurysms, and they had to cut his skull open twice. He has major cognitive issues as a result of all of that trauma to his brain, nonetheless.
It's got to be difficult for him because he's spent his entire life being a professional liar, and he gets it confused. He's not. He doesn't know how to professionally lie because he's fucking old and he's all fucked up.
Yeah, that's why people are like, oh, I don't like to make fun of old people, or oh, I don't like to, it's a little much for Joe Biden. He's a little cognitively whatever. I'm like, no, screw it. He's been an evil son of a bitch all his damn life.
Yeah, and
now this is what he gets.
It's not necessarily making fun of old people. It's kind of sad, really, because it really shows how presidents have handlers, opposed to people always be like, oh well, the president's the president, but no, he has handlers. Like he has people that tell him what to do, and he's made it blatantly fucking obvious, which has helped anybody that has any fucking stance in reality understand that blatantly the president has, especially with his kid. Like the Democrats up so much with choosing, but I mean they didn't have anything better, I guess. I don't know.
So Killshot says, how in the F did they let him run? Is that party that dumb? And he says the dumbs made themselves queen of the clown show. They are that dumb. They seriously, he's not actually running the show. There's somebody that's behind that's actually pulling puppet strings and actually running the show from behind.
Of course,
we like to tease and say that it's Obama term 3, which is just us telling a joke.
Oh, I'm not seeing when I'm saying that. Oh no,
what's that?
I ain't teasing when I'm saying that.
But I mean, that's pretty much what it seems like. It's more of an Obama term 3 as opposed to it being
because Obama said it 3 times that it was his 3rd term.
Yeah, I mean, he did say, if I could sit around
every
in my
person from the Obama administration is now back there,
and I could actually tell them what and they could just go out there and they could say what I told them to say, and they're not saying. He's not saying what he's been told to say. He's saying more, like quote and quote. Repeat the line.
I mean, half the time Biden is out on that stupid stage that they set up out in front of the White House across the road, and he's not even in the freaking White House because I guess Susan Rice is running the show in there. Maybe his wife a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So for them to use him as a running back makes them utterly clownish. Yeah, the thing is there seem to be an awful lot of people because he got the most votes. He has 80 million votes, more votes than any other
He got more than
president
Biden,
ever. More
He
than
has more
any
votes than
president.
there are stars in the universe. Let's
You
just be
guys-
clear, folks.
Did you guys see the thing where he conference or whatever where he's like talking about running and every single car like everyone was in their cars because of COVID, you know, and every single car was a Jeep. Like Jeeps were like every had a Jeep that was there to listen to him fucking talk. Like, oh, come on, man! Like the fucking.
Whoa, there's a bunch of people that just dropped in here. Don't forget to like, sub, and share. Let everybody know that we're actually here. Not that I want to stop the conversation from what's being had, but I think we should actually try going with the articles that I actually had pulled up for tonight. Dwight, I'll let you stick around for now if you're interested. Try staying with us on the story if you can as things progress, as opposed to changing the story. If I can get you to do that, that'd be awesome. Here, this is the first thing that I had in the list. Twitter sues Elon Musk for attempting to abandon $44 billion acquisition. Musk's exit strategy is a model of hypocrisy, Twitter argues. So this is Twitter versus Elon Musk is moving into the courts. The social media company filed a lawsuit against the world's richest man on Tuesday, saying that he's refusing to honor his obligations under their agreement and seeking to make him complete the deal. Musk is trying to exit the $44 billion acquisition deal by they announced in April based on his claims Twitter has failed to satisfy his request for information about bot activity and spam on the platform. Quote, Twitter brings this action to enjoin Musk from further breaches, to compel Musk to fulfill his legal obligations, and to compel consummation of the merger upon satisfaction of the few outstanding conditions. Twitter writes in the lawsuit, which is filed in Delaware Court of Chancery, where the company is incorporated. Catherine Hill, a spokesperson for Twitter, didn't have a comment beyond the legal filing, while Twitter board chairman Brett Taylor noted the filing as in a brief tweet. Here's his tweet. Twitter has filed a lawsuit in the Delaware Court of Chancery to hold Elon Musk accountable for his contractual obligations. Now, I was looking for, maybe I still have this tweet. I thought I had a tweet.
But there was a caveat. There was a caveat to those obligations, which was prove how many bots are on there. And
right, exactly. And now that they're going to actually take him through courts, he's making them actually show. They're going to have to show that there weren't. Right. They're going to have to do more. There was a meme.
I saw
Elon
the meme.
Musk.
I saw the meme where he's like, and now they actually have to show it because they're suing me.
I wish I thought
he's got it on his own Twitter. He's got it.
And as a result of that, what's going to end up happening is that he'll probably end up buying it, but he'll pay for less. So he'll actually make more money.
No,
out of it.
I don't think he's going to buy it.
Which is what I'm hoping.
I don't think he's going to buy it. I think he just did all this shit because he's got a fuckload of money, and he's like, you motherfuckers got owned. He owned Twitter. He's owning Twitter right now. Like he even without buying it, he fucking owned their asses because he's like, you guys are full of shit. How about this?
This one.
But yeah, that one
They
right there.
said I couldn't buy Twitter.
Exactly that
Then
one.
they wouldn't disclose bot information, and he's got a bigger smile and says, "Now they want to force me to buy Twitter in court," with a bigger smile. He's like, "Now they
Yeah.
have to disclose bot info in court," and he's just rolling.
For sure, man.
Killshot
This is what a
says
lot
he
of people
needed
that
to
were
take
talking
the
about
Amber
that he was going to do. I remember when he first said that he was going to do this, I heard 2 or 3 people say what he's going to do is he's going to say that he's going to buy it, and then he's going to go off and he's going to find the bot activity. Like specifically, they said this, and he's going to ask that okay, I'm going to back out of the deal. Then he's going to force them to come in and say, no, now you have to buy it. But then they have to disclose all the bot information, which then devalues Twitter, which then he can buy it at a lower price.
You don't become
that was what a lot of people were talking about.
You don't become the richest man in the world by being a fucking idiot. This dude is playing 4D chess, and he fucking owned Twitter. He made them his fucking bitch. He ain't paying shit.
I would hope that there's a lawyer out there that's actually paying attention to this and actually found this 62-page document of the complaint that they're filed against him, and they'll actually go and they'll dig through the whole 62 pages and read it out.
Wait, you're not a lawyer?
No, I'm not.
Oh, that's news to me.
Whatever. I've never claimed to be a lawyer. I've never claimed to be anything but just another guy on the internet giving you my opinion.
Well, another frog.
Wait, you're a lawyer? Frog? You're a lawyer?
No, I'm not.
Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking lawyer, huh?
I'm not. I wish. I'd be worth a hell of a lot more money than I am. Killshot says he did make huge mistakes, though. He was dumb enough
just
to
haven't
sleep
graduated yet. That's what it is.
Hold on. He says he was dumb enough to sleep with Amber. Sorry, I won't let that go. For such a smart man, he should have known.
Everybody has their weaknesses.
Hey, the fucking Catch Me If You Can guy, he passed the bar and he never even went to lawyer school. What's your excuse?
I haven't tried. Hey, Toy Box Brain, how's it going?
Oh, was he on earlier? Is that why he says that? Oh, snap! We continue the steam train or the stream train.
No, I'm guessing that the thing is that like the expert was over on Madcore Mofo's channel for a while. Divinity was over there. There's a whole bunch of people that were actually over on that channel.
That expert would miss the opportunity to do Flotus's Taco Tuesday. It was right there.
Right? It was right there. It was handed to him
on a
silver platter. Right. And he just took that silver platter and said, eh. And he went and he sat on the stream with
you guys don't even know what
on the stream with 6 to 7 other people.
You guys don't even know what tacos are. I'm right.
You know what? Maybe I don't know what tacos are, but we all know that Flotus knows
I know
what
what
tacos are.
Okay?
You know,
my favorite tacos are the
you know
ones.
Taco Bell.
No, I hate Taco Bell. My favorite tacos are the pink ones. Referring to Madcore.
Right after he was between a couple double D's.
Yeah, I did have Dragon Man on here with
he likes double D's and pink tacos.
Taco Bell aren't even real tacos. Exactly. That's American shit.
Yeah, that's good food.
Like I said, I'm just sticking with Flotus's definition at this point.
So I know that AmericaShirts will have something to say about this. Here you go. Here's number 2. Pedo Pete.
Oh yeah, he had some new shit come out with him. Weighing his crack on the fucking scale. Did you guys see that shit?
Oh yeah, 20 grams. Holy
Yeah,
crap!
he's weighing
Yeah, it's like
crack.
$600, $800 in street value.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah,
imagine
that wasn't no normal person sitting there smoking
yeah,
some crack.
Hey,
That
hey, hey,
was
hey,
ima-
Koolfrogg,
imagine
since
if
experts here, pull my screen up again.
imagine if Trump's son fucking did that shit. Like there's no bias here. There's no bias.
Happy belated Taco Tuesday, expert. You missed out on like the most perfect opportunity here. Flotus has declared has declared something else to be tacos other than tacos, I guess. But she's Flotus. So happy belated Taco Tuesday.
okay. Back to this guy. Pedo Pete, massive 4chan hack of Hunter Biden's explicit text,
Great
images,
name.
video rocks, and the internet. Footage of the screenshots started circulating online Saturday night that are reportedly from Hunter Biden's iCloud account. I know that we've actually talked about this last 2 nights in a row, but there's just so much information out there. We just need to continue to cover it. So 4chan users claimed that they had hacked the first son's personal iCloud account. The Washington Examiner reported, although the source of the material has not yet been verified, social media users have spread the explicit content across a variety of social media platforms. Several videos from Biden's walk along the beach and consuming drugs in the shower with a woman who he refers to as his future baby daddy. Another video purports to show Biden arguing with a prostitute about the amount of crack he had in his possession. The video only shows Biden's face for a moment, although his pose with the cigarette matches previous media. An- in another, Biden appears to slide naked into a pool and swim up to a woman filming him. Hunter's father, President Joe Biden, also reportedly loves to skinny dip. Author Ronald Kessler wrote in 2014, according to the Daily News.
Oh yeah, we know that he likes to skinny dip in front of a bunch of other women, like the Secret Service. Like he'll just jump in and just do it if there's like a couple of women that happen to be on Secret Service detail. Just strip himself butt naked and just jump into a pool.
This is off topic, but I killed my TiVo, so let me know if my signal's like coming through clear or not, or whatever, because
you still seem to be fine for now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my
we'll let you know.
All right, I just wondered. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, we'll let you're fine. We'll let you know. So being assigned to Joe Biden's detail is considered the second worst assignment in the Secret Service, Kessler wrote at the time. The leak also included a series of text messages allegedly from Biden, which suggest that he and his father own a number of guns, and that they stole upwards of $100,000 from his ex-wife. Breitbart News reporter Wendell Husbo shared a screenshot of what he claimed was a contact of Hunter Biden's phone listed as Pedo Peter. Another user alleged that the contact card belonged to President Joe Biden due to his previous use of the pseudonym Peter Henderson. So then there's a little whatever. It says Hunter Biden told brother's widow to get an HIV screening during their affair.
Okay.
Disgusting.
Can I propose a question? What is it you are trying to accomplish with their hiding of shit and their lying to
They're
America?
trying to stop them from actually being arrested.
No, I'm not talking about Hunter Biden specifically. I'm talking about like why is the news always on the left, and why is like what are they trying to do there? Are they trying to make us communists? Is that their goal? It seems like that's what their goal is.
All right, expert. You have a good night.
Intentions? What's their intentions behind what they're doing? I'm just asking for opinion. I'm not asking
I mean, the
for.
media themselves,
The
specifically.
media themselves.
Well, no. Well, the media is obviously like fucking controlled.
They're controlled and owned by people like George Soros.
But what's the ultimate goal though? I mean, like, is it China?
World domination.
Right.
World
Welcome
domination. They
to the
like
New
they
World Order.
right. They want one world this world to be consumed
right.
for what it
And
was,
they
and actually be
want it to
brought
be
up to be
controlled.
just one world and only one world. And the only thing that they like to push, it seems to be, like you had said, communism.
Yeah.
Is kind of
Right.
disturbing.
It's got to be communism, right?
Well,
Like
communism is the vehicle by which they overthrow. Every other communist revolution that there's ever been has
right.
been funded by
Yeah.
Wall Street.
It's fucked up that
Anthony
we
C.
have.
Sutton, look it up. He has all the books on it. The Bolshevik Revolution, Hitler's rise to power on Wall Street. All
Okay.
that.
So how do we fight against that besides fucking getting like boxes of food that last for 25 years and hiding in a fucking hole somewhere? Like, what the fuck are we supposed to do, man? Like, I don't want to be a fucking I don't want to be led by a communist party. Like, what the fuck are we supposed to do? And
Revolt.
this is all opinion. This is all opinion. This is, you know.
That's all we do. We're opinion artists. That's all we do. We draw opinions and give us.
He's an artist now too.
Give
So he's
you
an
our
artist and a
thoughts.
lawyer.
I'm not a lawyer. Not a lawyer. Never claimed to be.
Hey man, well, if you know the law, I mean, the law.
I'm not a lawyer. You'd know if I was a lawyer. I'd be a lot smarter than I am.
Yeah. You don't seem smart enough to be a lawyer, but I'm dumb myself. I'm dumb myself, though. Don't take that
my GED doesn't say I'm smart enough.
Hey, my hey, I scored.
My GED says I graduated in the 98th percentile, so it says I'm pretty fucking smart.
That's a mindset too. That's a mindset too. Koolfrogg, my GED, I was in the 99th percentile, and they can't give you the 100th percentile because that would mean
right. That's slated for people that haven't taken GED.
Yeah. Well, there's no such thing as the 100th percentile in the GED.
Toybox says, I don't know about smart lawyers. We have Elaine. Let's see. Several verified social media users, just to finish the article out real quick, it says several verified social media users are now referring to the president as Pedo Peter, including Republican Florida congressional candidate Laverne Spicer. Y'all just wait. Hunter is about to get disowned now that his Pedo Peter thing is out in the open. Joe is about to say he's back on that powder and throw him into rehab faster than Kim did Kanye.
Folks, you know what we need to do? There needs to be a crowd of people that goes to a Joe Biden rally and just starts chanting Pedo Pete.
Pedo
and just
Pete.
do it everywhere. He's riding a bicycle. You'd be like, hey, Pedo Pete. Look, Pedo Pete.
Joe Biden
Just do it.
Eventually he'll say, I agree. Like he did with Let's Go Brandon.
Right, exactly. Get Marjorie Taylor Greene on the floor of the House of Representatives and just start saying, like, so our president, Pedo Pete. I mean, just do it. Just keep going.
That'd be so
we have
funny.
the momentum. Just keep going after this.
That'd be
People
hilarious.
do not like him. People do not want him. Impeach his ass. I mean, I was going over all of this yesterday.
They're not gonna impeach his ass. He's paid, dude. He's paid. He's not what Trump. I hate bringing up Trump, but he's not what Trump was. He's a paid motherfucker. Don't give two shits about the country, and as long as he's got fucking money in his wallet, does not give a shit. He's a politician. That's what he is. He don't give two fucks, man. He's getting paid, and I don't know why he.
Fuck Brandon. Pedal Pete is gold.
You know, at his age, you would think that he would like have some kind of fucking like moral standpoint on like giving a shit about the country, but he's just been such a trained liar for. He's just a puppet, man. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about.
He knows how deep.
Fucking
He
money.
knows how deep that swamp actually runs because he's part of it. He'd been part of it for a long time. He had created and sown so much division in this country for so long that he knows you can almost see it in his brain dead head that he's just there. And he's seen everything that had occurred, anything that has already happened, and what's going to happen next. He knows what's already coming. He knows what's around the corner, and he's just sitting there like, okay, I don't want to be one of them that actually gets removed, violently. I want to be the person that sits in the back pocket of Xi and
He's
Voldemort.
evil and he's fucking selfish. He's evil and he's selfish, and he doesn't give a shit if this whole
Yeah, he doesn't care about nobody.
burns.
He doesn't even care about it. He really doesn't even care about himself. He really, I mean, he sold out the United
this
States.
is what I was saying.
He sold us out so badly.
That's a good comment, Frog. That's a good comment. That he doesn't even care about himself. He doesn't even fucking.
He's old. He knows that he's old and that he's doesn't have a full set of brains.
No, but he still is fucking grasping onto that fucking stupid idea of I'm gonna live forever and I'm gonna fucking have all the money and all the fuck. He's still stupid. He's still fucking retarded because he lacks morals. He has no morals. What's not well? No, he doesn't. Yeah, he has no morals. None that I've
He doesn't have to have any because all he has to do is continue to do the stupid shit that he's been doing.
We should try to have a thing to where we try to find some morality in Joe Biden, but since the fucking 70s, he's had nothing. He's carried along with whatever the plan is that is supposed to support his party, and he doesn't give a shit. He has no cognitive dissonance whatsoever. He gives no shits about anything. Hey, you pulled up fucking how Homeboy was doing his shit where he throw the comments in the little thing. That's cool, man.
Yeah. All leaders seem to lack morals lately. Exactly, Killshot. Exactly. Without a doubt. So
Except for
did
us in America.
you guys pay attention to today's January
Got to.
6th bullshit?
And
Oh my God.
I'll say an asshole statement that's fucking truth though is that I feel it's truth. I think that fucking Trump actually gives a shit about this country. I think he actually give a shit, and
He over and over again says that he does. It says that he's here for us and he actually
did.
cares.
He wants America first, man, and it's got sold out from politician for fucking ever, and that motherfucker outsmarted that fucking bitch, and Everyone was fucking pissed as fuck, but it was great. It was a beautiful fucking thing. And what sucks about it though is that it caused so much division because
The
he's
division was already sown from the previous administration to him. Obama term 1
yeah,
and 2 were the worst things
but
to ever happen to us.
he's an asshole though. He's an asshole. He says shit fucking straight. He speaks it straight. So I mean, I don't know. Like I don't.
Yeah,
I
exactly. The only
I don't want
person that's not in that swamp is Trump. That's the thing. He's not a politician.
I
He's
don't
not in
want
the same swamp.
to be in and
I'm
talking
going
about.
off of what Killshot just said. Killshot just says, and sadly, it doesn't matter what side you vote for, you will see a puppet catering to the swamp. And exactly, that's what they've been doing. They've been catering to that swamp for too long. We needed to
Fuck.
have Trump in there already for these 4 years to actually finish draining that swamp that he started draining.
Yeah, Trump was
This
supposed.
November is going to be interesting.
Trump
It's
was
going to be very
supposed.
interesting
Trump
to see
was
what happens
supposed to.
in the next few
He
months.
he. Biden got more votes than Obama. Get the fuck out of here! This fucking
Yeah, right.
this fucking retarded old dude. He got more fucking shit than Obama. Like for real?
So, being that we're talking Trump, did
Yeah.
you guys pay attention to the January 6th stuff from today?
I did somewhat, and they played Salty Cracker as an extremist, as someone who is egging on the insurrection.
And they also played Tim Pool as
Yes,
being
Tim Pool.
a
That Tim Pool was
right-wing.
egging on this, and then Alex Jones was, and like all these other different people.
I was laughing so hard.
Oh my
I'm
god,
like,
I
oh
laughed
my
my
God.
ass off when I saw it. I was like, oh my god,
Like,
they pulled up Salty Cracker.
oh,
And Salty Cracker's like, oh, we're gonna
Cracker.
get you, we're gonna get you, motherfuckers. It's like, oh my god. They just played Salty Cracker sitting there like doing his actual show. With the freaking,
You know
with the
damn
freaking
well he had to
with the
have been
freaking
just
MAGA
livid
Mandalorian
over
in the
that.
side there, you know, like the red MAGA Mandalorian thing that he has there, you know? And like he just has all this stuff and the toys are in his background. He's like, yeah, here we go. And then like playing it where it's like, oh my god, like he's gonna like he's charging the insertion. It's like, oh my god. Holy shit.
That was the best. I'm like, oh my god, you gotta be kidding me.
And then they released a text from Mike Lindell countering everything that they were saying. But then they just highlighted one aspect of it, but they pulled up the whole thing on television. And then they blurred out everything else after that, and then they pulled out the part they
evil
wanted.
pillow
It's
guy.
insane.
The evil pillow guy. That's like what's that fucking thing with the 100 mattresses where she had the pee
Princess and the Pea?
under the 100 mattresses?
The Princess and the Pea?
Yeah. So it is. Anyways,
so here, real quick. So it says there's 7 notable moments from the House January 6th hearing on Trump and the extremist groups. Here are the 7 moments. It says, Oath Keepers. The extremist group's former spokesman said the Oath Keepers will not like to call themselves a militia, but they are. The best
Wait,
illustration.
does it say Oath Keepers? Did you say Oath Keepers?
Yeah, that's the name of the group.
Oath Keepers.
And keep in mind, though, just to keep this in context, that individual that testified had been retired from the Oath Keepers, I think, was it 2 years prior to this event?
What is
so he wasn't even in there when all this stuff was going down anyway. But yet they had him up there.
What is the oath that they're keeping?
I have no clue. I'm not part of it. I have no clue what that is.
Okay.
It's just another what they call a right-wing extremist group. I really don't. It could be. I really don't care.
Oath
I really
keepers.
seriously
How about keeping
either side.
oath
There
to the
shouldn't.
fucking-
I don't care about Antifa. I don't care about BLM. I don't care about the Oath Keepers.
Hey,
I don't
I'll say
care
it,
about
I'll
white
say it, I'll
supremacists.
say it,
I
I'll
don't
say
care
it.
about any of their.
I know
dumbass
you don't
shit.
want to say it, Koolfrogg. I know you don't want to say it. Fuck BLM.
Oh, I just did. I don't care about any of these groups. Any single one of them. I really do not give a crap. They can all go away. all they are doing is continuing to sow more and more
They're-
division.
Yeah, more divisiveness. Yes, that's their only goal is divisiveness. They don't want peace. They don't want happiness. The fucking bitch that was running BLM, she's got a fucking badass fucking house. Good for her. Capitalism. Thank you. You're welcome. You know, fuck that bitch.
Oh, and she's a literal witch doctor, like an African witch doctor. And she says that every time that you say the names of the fallen of police violence, that you're conjuring up their spirit to come and help you or whatever. It's like, oh, so now we're like freaking esoteric.
If they want to play that fucking game of
Here, check this out. Toybox Brand says the oath means jack shit if you can perjure yourself left and right without consequence. Yeah, absolutely. It's like having a group of friends and you go and you turn your back on one of them. The whole group of friends is going to turn on you, and you're not going to be happy with the situation.
being a lawyer, you should know about perjury. You should know about perjury.
Again, I'm not a lawyer. Never claimed to be a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. Not any of that.
Hey, just because you can't pass the bar, that's not my fault. But you should know, you should know that that perjury.
Stop it! Just stop it! Stop! I'll just kick you. I'll just kick you. I have the power to do so. Okay, so listen to the quotes that Van Tatenhove had testified to.
Full extent of law.
All right, see you later. No, just kidding. Anyway, Van Tatenhove testified that the Oath Keepers founder Stuart Rhodes had a grand vision of being a paramilitary leader and was fixated on using the 1807 Insurrection Act to keep Trump in office. The Insurrection Act would have given him a path forward, necessarily include the rule of law, and that the group meant get their way through violence and intimidation. He's just like, oh my God, this guy is just too much. Talking about
this guy was retired. Was not retired. He quit this group 2 years before January 6th.
He was retarded.
So he's not there. He has nothing to do with these people.
Say retarded.
2 whole years.
Shirts, you can't say retarded, man. It's not cool.
So, well, okay, right, it's not cool. So anyway, Van Tatenhoven testified that he should have broken with the group before he did, but his final straw was when he heard members talking about the Holocaust not being real, and that for me was something I just could not abide.
How does that have to do with the price of eggs in China? Not a goddamn thing. That's what
right. Not a damn thing. But this is a point. This is one of the 7 big points of today's hearing, which meant absolutely nothing. We need to quit mincing words and just talk about truths and what it was going to be.
Like lit themselves on fire.
It's an armed revolution. What else is going to do? What else is he going to do if he gets elected again? All bets are off at this point, he said for Trump. It's like, what's he going to do if he gets elected again? He's going to continue to
what's the source
draining that swamp.
Wait, what is the source on this?
What is the source on this?
Yeah.
Did you watch today?
Oh, this is the Washington Examiner.
This is the Washington Examiner that put this out. But I've watched this stuff today, so yep, the quotes are actually there. This is exactly what they actually put out in video today. I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know if he's gonna actually drain that swamp. I really don't know. I mean, he needed to be there for this next 4 years.
How can you drain a fucking swamp that's they put a fucking false
We'll
pandemic.
find out in November. We'll find out in November because he's been going around doing all of these things. He was in Nevada this last week. He was up in Alaska. He's going to be where to say
these
he's going to be next.
motherfuckers put a
He's been running around the country
out there to fucking to fucking get his ass out of office, and he won anyways. He won anyways.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. The most legitimate president is Joe Biden with 80 million votes.
He didn't win anyways.
He didn't win shit.
He never did. He's never won anything in his life. It's never. The Dems have always won everything.
And the pandemic is real. The pandemic is real.
Stop it! You're gonna get kicked.
All right. All right. Sorry.
Stop peddling lies, because it's not. We know the truth. We know that Joe Biden is the most legitimate president ever, and we know that that the COOF has removed so many people from this planet.
Yes, I have a shrine to Fauci in my house.
Right.
I burn like $50 bills into ashes, and I put it in a pool of peanut oil in front of him. I have a whole ritual.
I just
poke myself with freaking needles from my mother's.
I'm with you on that, Dwight. I really hate that we have to actually do what we have to do to actually stay within reason. Or whatever.
All I want to say is that if you're gonna let me fucking talk and shit, I need to know what I can't say.
You can't say that.
Okay, I take
it
back.
Can't. You can't talk about anything to do with the election.
I take it back.
Anything to do with anything else that has anything to do with the COOF.
If it's opinion, is it okay?
It's still off limits.
In my opinion,
no.
If I say that,
you just
still can't. I still can't.
It's a YouTube's thing. It's they'll flag it or they'll do something.
I really don't want to be gone for the next 2 weeks. Stop.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Dude.
You got to tell the truth. Joe Biden is the most legitimate president ever.
You must believe.
You must believe that's the truth. And then the other side of it is
we're
not doctors and we're not trying to tell people what to do. They need to go see their doctor and do what's best for them.
Yeah.
And actually get themselves jabbed and
more than
take
Obama.
care of the earth.
I could understand Obama. They're like, hey, let's get a fucking black dude for president. And then everyone's like, yes, then we won't be racist anymore. And then everything will be okay. And then
he goes and sets us back 100 years.
And then Joe Biden goes and he gets more votes than fucking Obama did. Like, what? Huh? I'm a little confused here. He got more votes than whatever. Anyways, you guys
He did. There's nothing you can do about that.
There's nothing I can do about it.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing you can do. I know that I'm just going to have to private this video when I'm done.
I'm sorry if I demonetized you, bro.
Okay, stop it.
Yes, the
monetizing anything. I'm not even monetized. That's the thing. They're just going to take my channel from me.
Monetized you.
Stop it. He's still talking. He's still talking even though he's not even on the screen right now. I'm serious.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm
serious.
sorry. I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
I'm never gonna actually get there. I'm gonna have to start a new channel. If anything happens to this channel, you look down below. Make sure that you hit up that local channel. Stop it and let me. I'm gonna kick you.
Don't kick me, please. Don't kick me.
Well, then stop talking over me. Anybody that's in here, make sure that you actually go subscribe to that locals channel and that Rumble channel, because if tomorrow we might just be there. Thanks, Wyatt.
He kicks hard.
Okay, so anyway, we're going through this here. So that was only point number 1 that we made it through, and then you went and you tried doing that crap. Right? Exactly. Holy.
Sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I don't fucking know the rules, man.
Kill is still saying it.
Well, I just told you the rules.
All right.
Stop it.
I'm not allowed to speak truth. I'll stop.
No, you're not. You're disallowed.
Disallowed.
So here, let's just do the bullet point. Here it is. A rioter testifies. Mr. Ayers, uh, Ayers, who was admitted to entering the Capitol illegally that day,
God,
returned to
that
the
guy was a
building
freak.
Tuesday instead of a witness. He described himself as a normal family man who got caught up in the social media
That's normal.
misinformation
Okay.
and led him to the Washington in the thought that the protest was a stolen election, which he said he had no longer believes. The president got everybody riled up and told everybody to head on down. So we basically were just following what the president said. Yeah, this dude. Maybe
There was a
we
protest in
wouldn't.
front of the Supreme Court, and there was a protest on the
They were headed to the other platform that was in front of the Supreme
right,
Court.
right, right. And they, and like I said, they kept like bringing this up even like in the hearing itself. Like they burned
Exactly.
themselves.
They kept on bringing. I know, right? I'm like, what in the fuck are they actually talking about?
Well,
They
you know,
sunk
literally have
themselves so many times today. It was ridiculous and it was funny. So
Oh my God,
he
it was
continues
hysterical.
this. Yeah, I think everybody thought that
they,
he was going to come. He was coming down. Changed my life. Definitely not for the good. Not for the better.
wait. Hey, I've got another proposition, another question. If the government, when they wrote the shit, if they said the First Amendment applies to all businesses, would that do you think that would be tyrannical, or do you think that would be like like what would that be? What would that be if the First Amendment applies to all businesses?
What's that have to do with the topic at hand?
But well, because
Because you're
kind of
asking questions that have nothing to do with this. I just want to get through this shit.
I know. Well, I fucked up your video by saying something, and I'm just wondering, like,
You're not. You haven't yet. We haven't been totally kicked yet, so we'll just leave it alone. And it's
Yeah, that's another discussion for another day about like some like laws about how to go about getting, if the government would have a right or not to somehow do the thing with social media. I mean, that's a like Section 230 issue, where they have special privileges and so forth, where they can be like, "Oh yeah, we're open, whatever." I mean, that's a whole other discussion. And there is a way to do it, and Trump should have done it. I don't know what the hell he and his team were thinking about this, and of course the other Republicans. But yeah, like I said, that's another
Toy box Brent. I wish everybody else could see that
Trump
comment.
the
Not
motherfuckers
showing
with
up over here on the
there is a solution. We'll just put it that way, right? There is a
side.
solution to that.
It's just over on your side. And it's a funny little face with his hands covering it. It's great. Anyway, so then Trump tried to call a committee witness. His Rep. Liz Cheney, the panel's vice chairwoman, said that after the committee's last hearing, Trump tried to call a committee witness who has not yet publicly testified. She said that the witness who she did not name did not take the call, but alerted their attorney, who in turn alerted the committee. The committee, Cheney said, alerted the Department of Justice. Let me say one more time. We will take any efforts to influence witness testimony very seriously. So they're claiming that Trump called a witness that they haven't actually talked to yet to try getting him to actually go and say something other than what they're saying. My guess is it must be somebody like maybe Bannon, that because they still say that they're going to try talking to that person, or
Well,
somebody.
but isn't this saying that person's not that Trump has said Trump? They're claiming that Trump told somebody not to testify.
Right?
Isn't that what this is saying?
Right.
Bannon
It's pretty much what it is.
Trump waived executive privilege on Bannon so that Bannon could testify, which I still
I
think
know,
is
but
stupid.
this is coined from the last committee hearing. This isn't. So we didn't hear about Bannon until this week.
Wait, Trump had to waive executive privilege for this year to fucking talk? I don't understand. I don't understand that.
Because it's private communications with the president. He has legal right to executive privilege to not have all of the conversations that the president has with different individuals, whether they be heads of state or otherwise, to be just blurted out to all the public. And so just by default, having conversations with the president is executive privilege. And those who do have executive privilege are privy to that. But those who do not, such as the general public or even the Congress themselves, don't have a legal right to every conversation that the president has. It's documented. Things like that are documented. They're written down and everything like that. But that has to go through a process by which then it's done. Congress just can't demand it, and you just can't go like get a FOIA request or whatever. There is a way by which that's done.
You're a pretty fucking smart dude, Shirts. I had no knowledge
That's
of
why
that.
that's why he's my co-host. I need somebody that's a little smarter than myself.
Yeah, you're pretty fucking smart, man. Pretty smart, dude.
So that's why he had to waive it. Yeah, because I mean those were private communications with the president. And again, you just can't have like, freaking, oh, hey, president wants to talk to the president of Sweden, and they're talking, and it's like, hey, let's release this phone call, whatever, and like release it, and then somebody manipulates it or whatever. I mean, the chaos that would ensue from all of that globally would just be hell. I mean, God.
Just because of the algorithm, I'm not going to read what's all inside this right here, whatever, but you can see here that he actually drafted an executive order to seize machines and asked Bill Barr to actually do so. And Bill Barr comes back and says he's not going to do, absolutely not. There's no probable cause. So, I mean, the committee's pretty much going along with the fact of, that there's zero basis.
As far as I
doing
can
this.
recall, this is a draft that he drafted. He never signed it off and made it an executive order. He drafted it, which means he wrote it up, and then he had conversations with Bill Barr, and Bill Barr told him no.
Right, absolutely.
That's what I recall. So the way in which
cause.
they're trying to phrase it is that, oh my God, see, like he drafted it, so that means that he was going to do it. It's like, well, he drafted something because, in case he would have to do that, if he felt as though it was something that was serious enough to do, the draft is there. All he'd have to do is just make it official. I mean, that happens all the time.
This guy pisses.
There's nothing that
Cipollone
controversial
pisses
about
me off. Cipollone says, and that's not how we do things in the United States. It's like, F off, dude.
I mean, the president can make a draft if he wants to. If he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to.
Anybody
It's
can
his
do
right
whatever they
to
want. Period.
make a
There
draft.
isn't somebody that gets to tell you.
He
what
can
you
write down
actually
something on a piece of paper and think about
Right.
it like, everybody else can. Like, what the hell?
Right. Oh, wait. Let me write this down real quick. Oh, look. I just wrote it down. Now it's my opinion, and now I'm going to actually act on it because I wrote it down? What?
Yeah, the Washington Post had an opinion matter that I put it on your whatever the fuck it is, I don't remember what it's called, but the Washington Post said the George Washington University should change their name, and that was an opinion matter. And it's like, you're called the Washington Post, you dumb fucks. Like how are you gonna say
change your name?
How are you gonna say from the Washington Post? How the fuck are you gonna say fucking change your name when it's fucking ludicrous.
This whole thing is just a
ludicrous.
sham that's pulled up by Liz Cheney. That's my thought. I mean, it's just an opinion, but I really don't see
Liz Cheney's old
any
school.
of this is going to
Liz
actually
Cheney's
go.
old school. We're all AOC and fucking
What?
Marjorie Taylor Greene? Is that what you mean? Like,
AOC?
I don't know. I get a little perturbed because my old lady woke up and she's bugging me, and she don't like me talking political talk. She's like, tell them bye. Tell them.
Sorry, Dwight's wife. You know, but that's the issue with the world is that sometimes politics needs to be talked about. Otherwise, nobody talks about it. Nothing ever gets done, and everybody just gets railroaded into doing whatever the current government decides to want to do. And it seems as though as the current government wants to just go run around and turn us into a communistic country like everything else, where it's never freaking worked. Ever. Period.
Ever. Period.
Ever.
Any country that it's ever been tried, it's never freaking worked.
I need to pull up a video with Ace AOC with a helmet on. That'll be for
she's
later.
Go for it. Go for it.
That'll be for later. But getting back to the topic at hand.
So for whatever reason, Cheney says that Trump's defense strategy had shifted.
Come on, dude. Let's talk with the people. Let's talk. We can be common folk.
I don't know what he just said.
She's so pissed off. I don't know why she's so pissed. I don't know why she's so pissed off.
Because you're talking politics, bro.
Yeah.
You say we shouldn't talk about religion and politics when we meet people. We must have these discussions, otherwise we let them
react. She won't even react. I think that she thinks that you're an asshole, but she won't fucking say it.
It's fine. Maybe. She can feel however she wants to feel about me. I have no hard feelings against her.
Oh, she thinks I'm an asshole.
Just too bad. I'm sorry you have to deal with that.
Don't be a dick, bro. Hey, I'm just
saying. I'm sorry you have to deal with that. My wife doesn't like me talking politics either, and that's why I come on here and talk about it. Because if I didn't come on here and talk about it, I'd be sitting there ranting in her ear.
Right?
She doesn't want to hear it. So that's why I come here.
You don't want to hear about it. You don't want to hear about it, do you, Sharon? No. You don't want to hear about my politics bullshit, do you? No.
And that's why I come on here. Because, my wife also doesn't want to hear about it. So and I get it. I totally understand.
I'm going to be right back. I'm going to switch devices here.
Exactly, toy box. We totally burst holding all this crap in. If we didn't actually talk about it.
She likes you shirts. Where did shirts go?
He said he was switching devices. He'll be right back. So then I'm going to continue talking about this real quick. So anyway, Cheney says Trump's defense had changed. So this is initially the strategy in some cases appeared to be to deny and delay. Today appears to be a general recognition that the committee has established key facts, including that virtually everyone close to Trump, his Justice Department officials, his White House advisors, his counsel, his campaign, all told him the 2020 election was not, and it wasn't stolen. We all know that.
No,
it appears to have been changed the strategy for defending Donald Trump. Now the argument seems to be that the President Trump,
with the role,
let me finish the quote.
All right.
Manipulated by the others outside the administration. Manipulated by others outside the administration.
It was not stolen.
Poorly served nonsense. President Trump is 76 years old. He is not an impressionable child. Just like everyone else in this country, he is responsible for his own actions and his own choices. And she's just, whatever.
I think that's pretty much a basic human instinct, is that you're responsible for your own choices.
Yeah, everybody's responsible for their own choices and actions, and I get that. But what she's getting at is that, this little draft that he wrote that isn't an actual executive order, it was just a draft, just a piece of paper that he wrote some thoughts down on, he's changed his stance since, and she's full of shit. But we know that, Joe Biden's the most legitimate president ever with the most votes. And it's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing that we can do about it at all.
Every time anybody says that, I can't help but fucking laugh, dude.
Toy box, a mega pint.
It's,
Yes.
it's fucking like it's like a natural fucking.
Look at this. All his closest advisors told him that he had lost. The record video testimony, former Secretary of Labor and his son and the late Supreme Court Justice Anton Scalia, Eugene Scalia, told the committee he advised Trump in mid-December that he should accept the ruling of courts and concede the election. I conveyed to him that I thought that it was time for him to acknowledge President Biden and had prevailed in the election, which obviously he did. The committee also showed footage in the recent interview that with Cipollone, who told the committee there was not sufficient evidence of election fraud in change of the results in any state in any view. Trump should have conceded the race on the 14th of December 2020 after the Electoral College met and the states certified the electoral votes, bringing any legal avenues to a close. Well, the sad thing is there's like 5 states that actually sent in 2 different versions of these particular electors that were actually sent in. There was 2 versions, and the guy that was standing there that had the right to do what he needed to do was the vice president.
The global warming.
This episode's not going to stay up. This episode's going to immediately get removed from YouTube.
Well, if it's fucked, it's fucked. Whatever.
He never lets anybody finish a sentence.
I never let anybody finish their sentence.
No, he doesn't. I get that, and I've actually shut him up a couple times on that.
Oh,
Stop it. Comparable clips of the Trump administration officials, included his daughter Ivanka Trump, were also shown. Yes, it was. The committee showed text messages between Trump and Katrina Pearson and Brad Parcell. This week, I feel guilty for helping him win, Parcell wrote. When Parcell wrote that Trump's rhetoric killed a woman, likely a reference to Ashley Babbitt, rest in peace, Ashley Babbitt, a rioter who was shot during the attack, the only person that actually died at the Capitol. Katrina, he replied,
or
yes,
in the
it
Capitol.
was.
I think there were 2 other people that were killed by the police because they trampled one woman to death.
Right.
And there was another instance where someone was
brought
beaten,
somewhere else before she
and
passed.
there was another instance where someone was shoved off the side of the steps where they go up.
My old lady wants to talk to you, Shirts. She has. What are you going to say?
I'm just asking if he's a mediator, because he seems like he's the person that
What? No, he's my co-host.
Yeah, no, I'm not really.
Yeah,
I guess I'm whatever the hell anybody wants me to be at the point in time. I guess I don't know. Whatever I need to be.
You are kind of the mediator. You're the in between. He keeps
the peace, and he deciphers and he relays it to each other. Right?
Is she right or wrong?
I didn't hear what she had to say.
About me?
Mediator.
I'm not listening.
Or Dwight.
Dwight, yeah.
What Dwight is saying, and
Dwight,
I don't know.
I can't handle that. That's too much. Y'all need to stop.
That's what she's saying.
Well, he seems like he's the most sensible one.
It's because your boyfriend's pissed me off tonight.
Well, he pisses me off every night. So thanks for that.
I'm just fucking with her.
Why you gotta be an asshole,
Dwight's
bro?
been
Why
Dwight's
you-
with
why
me,
you
been
gotta
with me
fucking-
for the most
why
of the
you-
night, and he's been
Dwight's
nothing
an
but
asshole.
upstanding with
Dwight's
me.
an asshole.
Why you gotta? Why you gotta? Why
So
you
am
gotta?
I, and that's why we get along so well.
Why you
What
gotta?
is your name? Or your code name or whatever?
That's why we get along so well, is because we're both assholes, and we just love to actually, rile people up and get people going, because that's the best way to do it. Because if you're not riled up and you're not listening to what's happening, then you're not paying attention to what's actually going on in this world.
Yeah, she doesn't like that you ignored her.
I don't care. This is my show. That's why it's called Stick with Koolfrogg, and not Stick with Dwight Zombie.
Well, do you not have like a computer name or something?
No, he's Koolfrogg. That's what he said.
Oh, Koolfrogg.
Yeah.
Oh my lord! What did I just fucking say?
You barely.
The movie is called this show is called Stick with Koolfrogg. It is my episode. It is my stuff.
It is a show.
Dwight is my guest, and I enjoy having Dwight as a guest.
on the show. I'm like,
why? Because me and him actually have the same thoughts for the most part.
Jay Leno. He's Jay Leno. He's Jay Leno.
Okay, hold on. We got to read what Toybox said. So it says, "LOL, this is like those Zoom meetings from college where the instructor keeps being interrupted before the student is kicked out of the class."
Hey, must be not in college. All right, don't kick me out, please.
If you only
with your white privilege.
Yeah, Dwight's black. So you're being racist. He's a taco.
You're totally being racist.
He's a taco.
He says he's a taco.
God, didn't Flotus already make it clear? You know.
Here, look at this. DUG creates a reproductive rights task force.
Learning some fucking truth around here.
I killed over here in the chat. She's dead.
Kill shot's dead.
Okay. Oh wait. Can I explain you guys to us or to her? For us?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have to do it right now?
Right.
So this guy's like the Howard Stern guy of the group. The other guy's the media.
Apparently, she hasn't been paying attention.
Yeah,
this is the first time she's heard us talk.
You're the dickhead fucking guest.
Let's see what.
Oh, I'm not going to deal with people swearing. So that's something that can go away.
Figured it out, but I just know that guy's the Howard Stern guy.
Okay, there you go. Dwight, let me know when she's done with her thoughts, and I'll let you back in.
Yeah, he fucking.
Toybox says, "Do you have to do it right now?" Oh, my lord!
He kicked us. He kicked us, dude.
Because I have the power.
Nah, he got upset because you called fucking Shirts the fucking man, and he wants to be the man.
Shirts is the man, just as well as I am. That's the thing. We're all grown men, and we're trying to hold the men's conversation.
Oh. I got it.
Get out of it, bitch. Get out of the conversation, bitch. Oh, shit.
I didn't call you that. He did.
My man's Ellie, because that's how he talks too. He's old school.
I didn't call you that. He did. No, seriously, I'm fine with you. You want to come in? You want to join us? Why don't you actually grab a different device and I'll add you to the show, and then you can actually speak with us as opposed to actually
speaking of.
He's saying that I should have my own.
Oh, yeah.
Right, because it's very loud and very confusing to hear two people come over one mic. It's it's distracting.
Koolfrogg.
Hey,
Koolfrogg here. He has the power. He's got the power.
I feel like
you can do that.
I feel like you're.
Is that fun?
I feel like you're very intimidated by a fucking.
Oh, that's so fun.
Hey,
Playbox says I had that in mind.
Yes.
that's kind of funny.
They don't want to hear you, babe.
No,
Babe.
yeah.
Now I'm babe. Before I was
Babe.
bitch. Now I'm babe.
What?
I didn't call you that. He did.
Bitch,
I know.
babe.
I never called you anything. I just said we're just three men trying to hold a conversation about politics.
Trying.
If somebody doesn't like to hear about politics, I'm
Trying
not
is
against
hard.
them not wanting to hear about politics. Because again, my wife also hates hearing about politics, which is the reason why I hold this show so that I can talk to somebody about politics. I don't need somebody coming in here trying to tell me to talk about something other than the politics that I come in here to talk about.
I got
That's
you.
what we're talking about, and it's what the show is about.
No, I understand that.
Okay, thank you.
I will leave in.
Anyway, so we're going to move on here. So this is in healthcare. This is
No,
DOG
no,
creates
there's
a
light.
new reproductive rights task force.
ID agrees with you, by the way. He's just
Come here for a bit.
hello, ID.
ID. What's up, my brand?
You go fuck yourself too.
Exactly, ID. He says ID says the same thing here. Let's pull this right up to the screen here. So does mine. That's why I love this show. Thank you, ID. That's exactly why we're here. We're here to actually talk about the politics that we can't talk to with our wives.
Or whites. Wrap it up.
Oh, buddy.
Oh shit! I'm getting told to wrap it up.
I do, and yeah, exactly. Killshot is a woman. That's the thing. I do have women viewers. That's the fun one. And there's just multiple of women that actually do watch this, and they watch it on the
Well, how
return.
about
That's
a-
the fun one.
how about
I
a-
get more people that watch this show on a rerun than they do at a regular night because it's so late at night that they don't have time to sit through it, other than Killshot.
And we're on the same time schedule. This
Yeah,
this
we are.
This broad's telling me to cut it off. I ain't gonna do it.
I was going to say, okay, so let's move on here real quick and just talk about this Department of
Ooh,
Justice.
man, I got
On
such a
Tuesday,
evil
announced the
eyeball.
creation of a new reproductive.
evil
I'm going to
eyeball.
shut you off. The Department of Justice on Tuesday announced the creation of a new reproductive rights task force aimed at protecting abortion access and enforcing federal laws on reproduction rights in the wake of the U.S.
Oh, is
Supreme
this going to
Court
be the task
overturning
force that
Roe v.
takes
Wade.
all of the people who want abortions over to the abortion floaty thing? The abortion, the abortion boat, or whatever the hell, or the abortion rig, like because they were talking. Did anybody see that where they were talking about like the federal government wants to make an abortion rig, like instead of an oil rig, it's like an abortion rig in the middle of the freaking ocean because it's federal property.
Right.
So that's where everybody's going to go get their
here,
abortion.
check this out. It says Attorney General Vanita Gupta, who will chair the new task force, said that the DOJ is committed to protecting access to reproductive services. After the High Court's decision last month that cleared the way for states to restrict or ban abortion access, the court abandoned 50 years of precedent and took away the constitutional right to abortion, preventing women all over the country from being able to make critical decisions about their bodies, our health, and our futures. The DOJ said that the Reproductive Rights Task Force will monitor state and local laws that infringe on the federal protections for reproductive care.
What federal protections for reproductive
care? There are
care?
no federal protections.
There
right
is
now. They've
none.
been revoked.
What the hell is? I mean, this is total. This is like again. This is like total tyranny. Like, what the hell are they going to do?
Tyranny.
If
it's the government trying to run our lives, as opposed to doing what the what was actually appointed to us and brought back to the state. Reproductive rights at the state level. You can still get these types of access to these things with your private doctor, as opposed to walking up to a Planned Parenthood at any stage in your life and just deciding that you wanted to abort a 9-month-old baby that's in your belly. It's wrong. What's up, man?
I love you guys, man. But fucking the bitch holes reign. I got a bill, and I'll be on next time.
We'll pray for your night to actually go well. You enjoy your rest of your night and get some good sleep, my man.
Pleasure having you, Dwight. And your connection, as far as was aware, was a lot better today than it was even yesterday.
A lot better today than it was yesterday.
And it is enjoyable to have it back and forth when we're not too tipsy.
I killed the TiVo. I didn't. Yeah, and I'm not as tipsy as it was. Well, tipsy's a nice a nice way to put it, because I watched I watched the fucking replay, and Jesus Christ, I was fucked up. I had no business being on being on your channel, and please, if I ever sound that fucked up again, kick me.
Well, that's why I asked you before you even come in. How drunk are you?
No hard feelings. No hard feelings, man. No hard feelings if you fucking kick me. But yeah. Love you, dudes.
Don't even remember.
Love you, dudes. Love the politics. Peace.
Later, Dwight. Have a good night.
She enjoyed that. She enjoyed
And I just kicked him. Oh, that's fun. Anyway.
Yes, the power.
Oh, that was fun. And I figured, if anything, because this next article and what it was, this would actually took her over that next level of being, all right, get out of there. You don't get to have an opinion. The task force is not entirely new, but simply formalizes an existing working group that efforts in the department over the last several months to enforce federal laws and protect abortion access. Again, there's no federal laws, not a single one. Anybody that thinks there is, they need to actually go look again and try harder. The news comes from President Biden signing an executive order last week that instructs the Department of Health and Human Services to protect and expand access to abortion through medication shipped by mail. Great. That sounds fun. Let's go and ship drugs through the mail process and see how far that goes and see
Well,
who.
the United States Postal Service, they have the God, what was it called? It was called IHOP, where they went through. I forget what that the acronym stands for. I had it down there for a while. It was
not the House of Pancakes.
Yeah, right. But that's the acronym that they used was IHOP or IHOPs or with an S on it. I forgot what exactly it was, but it had IHOP in the name. And what it was they would go through the mail and they would pick out like things that people would be trying to get to possibly treat a coof or not, and they would pick it out in the mail and be like, "Oh no, you're not allowed to have it."
Oh,
it's like, "Oh, we just have a ban on this now."
That stuff. So
and it's like, oh. So
look at that.
And so now they're restricting that, and then now they're like, oh, let's promote whatever we want and put that in the mail. Is that what this is?
Right.
Enforce the protection of medication through the mail. So they'll just protect it and make sure that it gets across the proper
They're going to
protect
it inside a mail van all the way until it hits a mailbox.
Well, you can't, if a state says that's not allowed within the state, if they make a total ban on any type of abortion, whether it's 1 day or 9 months or after birth, whatever the hell the state says is the law on this matter, is the law in this matter. The federal government under the Constitution has no purview. The Supreme Court definitely didn't have any purview, which is why they kicked it back to the states. This is completely unconstitutional.
Right.
I mean, this is what the states did with marijuana. Like all these states just started to legalize marijuana, and there was no ban on, there was no lifting of marijuana laws at the federal level. The states just did it. And so what are they going to do? Are they going to go off and be like, oh no, county sheriff, you're not allowed to deny this person their abortion meds or their abortion pills because we don't want it to. Well, first off, what's your federal law for that? And number two, what are you going to do? Arrest a state police officer? Are you going to arrest a county sheriff? Like, what the hell? Like, if they're enforcing federal law, not federal law, state law, or local law for that matter, they have the right to do so. The federal government does not have the right under the Constitution to do any of this shit. Period. Total tyranny they're announcing right there. They're going to just go through the mail.
States' rights for pot, but not for abortion. Exactly.
Yeah. Instead, the left will protest about people not having abortions in red states where they don't want them, so they can keep brainwashing young women into killing their children.
Do you remember this lady?
Oh God! Scary Poppins.
Former Ministry of Truth head turns on Biden. Oh, I'm gonna actually play the sound.
On April 27th, the Department of Homeland Security announced the creation of the first Disinformation Governance Board. The board's stated goal was to coordinate countering misinformation related to Homeland Security. The Biden administration appointed Nina Jankowicz as the board's executive director. Jankowicz, 33, was tapped by the administration to run the newly created Disinformation Board because the administration saw her as an expert in the field. Her work is apparently well respected within the small community of researchers who study disinformation.
IDCrisis says if she can't twerk while standing on her head, who cares?
Was scrutinized for her history of spreading misinformation, such as a story denying the existence of the Hunter Biden laptop. According to critics, DHS' new board resembled George Orwell's Ministry of Truth from 1984 and was designed to silence conservative voices. It is clear from the novel that the ministry was used to spread information, and that it was able to rewrite the history of a fictional world in order to change the facts. After just a few weeks, the DHS shut down the board for a pause, and its head, Jankowicz, resigned. Jankowicz was slammed for disinformation she spread about Hunter Biden's laptop and the discredited Steele dossier, which former CIA officer Daniel Hoffman said was part of a disinformation campaign by Russia. She also called Republicans who criticized critical race theory, CRT, disinformers. Late in May, during its pause, the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, appointed the co-author of the Patriot Act, one of the most draconian restrictions on civil liberties in the modern era, and a former official from President Bill Clinton's administration to lead the Disinformation Governance Board. In a statement, the department announced that former DHS Secretary Michael Chertoff and former U.S. Deputy Secretary General Jamie Gorelick under Clinton.
And that's the thing, is I do that during the day, is I go and I try finding things to actually do at night, and I hit the play button so that way I can go do other things while I'm listening to it, as opposed to trying to read everything.
Will lead a thorough review and assessment of the DGB and stated that it was grossly and intentionally mischaracterized. Now Jankowicz is back and she's turned on Joe Biden and his administration. Jankowicz, head of the erstwhile Disinformation Governance Board, went on Stelter's reliable sources and whiffed at pretty much every softball lobbed at her by a sympathetic host, all while throwing the Biden administration under the bus, according to the Western Journal. During Sunday's interview,
just threw her under the bus.
Jankowicz said the board absolutely was the victim of disinformation, told Stelter there was a disproportionate focus on me, and turned on the Biden administration, saying that the government had just rolled over to the critics. Jankowicz assured Stelter that the Disinformation Governance Board was benigner than benign, telling him it was meant to...
So she's saying, just to clarify there, again, she's saying that the Biden administration terminated her because they caved to disinformation. So in other words, she's saying, I should still have my job. Biden just let it go because they just fell for this.
The many parts of the department while throwing the Biden administration under the bus, according to the Western Journal. During Sunday's interview, Jankowicz said the board absolutely was the victim of disinformation, told Stelter there was a disproportionate focus on me, and turned on the Biden administration, saying that the government had just rolled over to the critics. Jankowicz assured Stelter that the Disinformation Governance Board was benigner than benign, telling him it was meant to advise the many
Benigner
parts of the
than
Department of
benign.
Homeland Security that
Kill
were
me.
working on disinformation.
Oh my
She said
God.
the DGB was meant to bring best practices to bear, and to make sure that we were up with the latest research, the latest trends, in disinformation and countering it, and make sure that work was being done in a way that protected freedom of speech, protected civil rights, civil
my
liberties, and privacy.
God.
Then Stelter
Holy
asked her an easy
shit.
question. So, the sympathetic view, to you, is that the Disinformation Board was the victim of disinformation. Is that how you feel? Oh, it absolutely was the victim of disinformation, she answered. So, all of these narratives, that the
God.
Disinformation Governance Board was going to be this ministry of truth, and all of the harassment and disinformation that was directed against me, was based on that falsehood that was knowingly peddled by many people in the conservative media ecosystem and on Capitol Hill. Stelter then asked her why
like
the
Huxley's
department
book,
didn't
Brave
stick
New
up for
World.
her if it
Oh my God.
I thought you had more to go.
Oh no.
was disinformation about her and the new board. Yeah, I have a lot of misgivings about the way things went down, and I think the first thing to point out, Brian, is that there was a disproportionate focus on me, given my level of power within the department, Jankowicz replied. I was not allowed to speak on my own behalf, and frankly, all the communications decisions that were being
She was not allowed to speak on her own behalf. Sounds like she was being silenced for whatever she believed.
What the hell? She sounds pretty vocal to me. Holy shit.
I think the first thing to point
How
out,
about
Brian,
TikTok?
is that there was a disproportionate focus on me, given my level of power within the department, Jankowicz replied. I was not allowed to speak on my own behalf, and frankly, all the communications decisions that were being made about how to talk about the board were made above my pay grade and above my level of decision-making, she continued. I was the executive director, but there were a lot of people that were involved that didn't take advice frankly that I had given them. Then Stelter tried to help her out, telling her, look, I would start with the name. Even just the name, right, Nina, it sounds Orwellian. And any PR professional would say don't call it that, you know. There were just dumb mistakes made. Jankowicz replied that the board's name belies the fact that it was meant to be an internal governing mechanism, governing how the Department of Homeland Security did its work on disinformation, not governing the internet. She added,
Which is
and that
why
was
you
one of the
posting shit and had a Twitter page. You totally didn't want to tell everybody else what the hell to do.
No, not at all.
No, that's not what that's for. No.
Nope, none.
Totally didn't have
reasons that I
communications with
ended up
social media. It doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Biden administration had never talked to anyone in social media before. They just, Raggedy Ann gets up in front of you, aka Chucky, and gets up in front of you and tells you that they're having conversations with Facebook and Twitter and other different things because that's never happened before, ladies and gentlemen.
And now
it's
Korean.
It's just all internal.
made. Jankowicz replied that the board's name belies the fact that it was meant to be an internal governing mechanism, governing how the Department of Homeland Security did its work on disinformation, not governing the internet. She added, and that was one of the reasons that I ended up making the choice to resign, right? I felt like the government had just rolled over to the critics, who had completely spun this narrative out of control based on absolutely nothing in reality, and the fact that they weren't able to defend me, the person that they had chosen, the experts that they had chosen to lead this board and safeguard this work. It just didn't feel like it was worth it, especially given the fact that my family was receiving threats, she continued.
Oh my God, of course
https
they're receiving threats. Of course they were. Everybody receives threats. Please, pull an Amber Heard.
And there's a video down below that or whatever that you can actually watch of, Stelter holding a conversation with her or whatever. I didn't want to hear him talk. That's why I allowed that to actually, speak for us.
Here is the orc woman herself, trying to sing Mary Poppins.
Laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious.
She didn't have any room to speak, ladies and gentlemen.
It's how you hide a little lie,
Never
little
could.
lie. It's how you hide a little lie, little lie. It's how you hide a little lie, little lie. When Rudy Giuliani shared that
A lot of
intel
words.
from Ukraine, or when TikTok influencers say COVID can cause pain, they're laundering disinfo, and we really should take note and not support their lies with our wallet, voice, or vote. Oh!
She's
Oh.
really oppressed here, ladies and gentlemen. They shut her up completely.
Yeah, they didn't let her say anything
No.
that she wanted to say.
Not at all.
At all. Toy box brain. Holy crap, I just got a massive aneurysm.
It's like I have a sudden urge to like throw myself.
Again, this episode will be removed from YouTube. Anybody that wants to actually see it, they can actually find it on Rumble. Because as soon as this is done and over with, I will be deleting that and I'll be downloading it from here and posting it to there.
Yes,
Just
it's a
so
Rumble
you know.
exclusive. Go check that out.
This will be a Rumble exclusive. Sadly, I don't have too many that are viewing everything over there, and that's why everybody needs to go and click on that.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Tell everybody where they can actually see this episode.
Because again, that's where things will eventually be going if YouTube continues with its horse shit. Because more and more you can't talk about what you want to talk about. I mean, basically what YouTube is going to end up doing if they continue down the road that they're going is that no one else will be allowed on the platform but a raging fascist lefty who's just like
Or
blaring
Vosh
horse shit.
in his communistic thoughts.
Oh, the hell, he's a damn fascist. Who gives a shit? He's for the New World Order. The hell with him.
Hey, so check this out. Here's another article from the Republic Brief. It says 2 Biden officials committed treason facing serious charges. 2 of them, huh?
Really?
This one's a little bit longer of a clip, so.
The threat from a rising and powerful Chinese Communist Party has never been more dangerous for the United States of America than while we are stuck under the leadership of Democrat Joe Biden. While we get new daily stories about the ties and connections between the Biden family and China's corrupt leadership, there is another story in the media that exposes the threat of allowing China to have free access to government data which has been used for political intimidation. Using the power of shame and humiliation upon their opponents, communists perfected the political strategy of weaponizing those concepts to control people under General Mao Zedong and his leadership in the Great Leap Forward. Mao used denunciation rallies, also called struggle sessions, that were violent public spectacles in Maoist China, where people were accused of being class enemies of the Maoists and were publicly humiliated, accused, beaten, and tortured by people they were close to. Staging and scripts were prearranged by the Maoists to incite crowd support. The aim was to instill a crusading spirit among the crowd to promote the Maoist thought reform, and for that, they needed information to smear their enemies. The CCP uses smear tactics in the same way, today, and according to media reports, communists are in the US with help from the Bidens and are playing by the Maoist playbook with access to government information. A federal grand jury has indicted a current U.S. Department of Homeland Security agent and a former agent in connection with an alleged Chinese government-sponsored scheme to stalk, harass and spy on U.S.-based Chinese critics of Beijing, the Justice Department said Thursday. Craig Miller, a 15-year DHS employee, and Derek Taylor, a retired DHS agent working as a private investigator, are accused of accessing and providing information about the Chinese activists from a restricted government database to 2 other individuals who then used the records to target the victims, according to the indictment, returned Wednesday. Miller and Taylor were arrested in June. Each faces 1 count of obstruction of justice. Taylor faces an additional charge of making a false statement to the FBI in connection with the investigation. 3 others indicted in the case, Van Frank Liu, Matthew Ziboris, and Chang Jason Sun, allegedly carried out the transnational repression scheme to target U.S. residents whose political views and actions are disfavored by the Chinese government, such as advocacy for democracy in China, the Justice Department said. The 3 men face multiple criminal charges, including conspiring to commit interstate harassment and criminal use of a means of identification. In addition, Liu and Ziboris are charged with acting as agents of the Chinese government without registering with the Justice Department, while Liu and Sun are charged with conspiring to bribe a federal official. Liu and Ziboris were arrested in March. Sun, who is a Chinese citizen and allegedly orchestrated the scheme, remains at large. We will defend the rights of people in the United States to engage in free speech and political expression, including views the PRC, People's Republic of China, government wants to silence, Matthew Olson, Assistant Attorney General for National Security, said in a statement. As charged, these individuals aided agents of a foreign government in seeking to suppress dissenting voices who have taken refuge here. The aim of the conspiracy was to discredit pro-democracy Chinese dissidents living in New York City, San Francisco, and Indiana by spreading derogatory information about them, according to the indictment. In one instance, Liu allegedly paid a New York-based private investigator to bribe an Internal Revenue Service agent into releasing the federal tax records of one dissident. The goal was to publicly disclose the victim's potential tax liabilities in order to discredit him. The attempt failed. The private investigator was cooperating with law enforcement and no bribe was paid. In another case, the conspirators allegedly planned to demolish the artwork of a California-based Chinese sculptor critical of the Chinese government. The dissident artist's sculpture depicting...
Hold on a second. I thought conspiracies weren't real.
Only for about 6 months.
I mean, yeah. But see, this is what, again, there is such a thing as conspiring to commit a crime. There is such a thing as people behind closed doors conspiring to go after other individuals or other groups or so on and so forth and what have you. So yeah, that's the thing. That's a thing. So
you can only conspire if you're part of the left.
Yes.
And then again, watch yourself because they might just decide to make you, a pawn of their game.
Of course, we don't really have to conspire because we have nothing evil to do. They're the ones who have to conspire behind closed doors because they're the ones who have evil to do to the rest of us. And it's amazing how deep this little gang of theirs went to the point that they were going after local people that in areas in the United States who were former Chinese, came over to America and got away from the communists. And so they're of course they're talking out against the communist Chinese, and now these individuals were trying to release their tax records and try to make them look bad or something somehow.
The conspirators allegedly planned to demolish the artwork of a California-based Chinese sculptor critical of the Chinese government. The dissident artist's sculpture depicting Chinese President Xi Jinping as a coronavirus molecule was destroyed in the spring of 2021.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I need to see
it was destroyed? Oh.
Holy shit.
Damn.
He's so Xi Jinping has went from being Winnie the Pooh to being that
to being a molecule. Yes.
To being a viral molecule. Oh my god, where is my tab? I need to pull this up. Holy shit. Where is Okay, here we go. Okay. Now let's do this.
Didn't have a Rumble account, just made one and subbed. Awesome, thank you, Killshot.
Oh yes, awesome. That's right. We need to stipulate that you need to make a Rumble account, and that requires your telephone number. Yeah, or at the very least, just say like you need to create a Rumble account and then subscribe.
Right. Here it is. I was looking for where it said the molecule here. Chinese President Xi Jinping is a coronavirus molecule. Was destroyed in the spring of 2021.
To target the dissidents, an unidentified co-conspirator allegedly retained Taylor, the retired DHS agent, to obtain confidential personal information about multiple Chinese activists, including their passport information, passport photos, flight records, and immigration records. Taylor enlisted Miller and another DHS agent to obtain the information and then passed on the records to the co-conspirator. Liu Ziburis and Sun used this information to target and harass the PRC dissidents while acting on behalf of the PRC government, according to the indictment. Liu Pengyu, a spokesperson at the Chinese embassy in Washington, responded by email to a VOA request for comment. I'm not aware of the specific situation. I would like to stress in principle that the Chinese side always asks overseas Chinese citizens to comply with the host country's laws and regulations. We firmly oppose acts by the U.S. that groundlessly malign and smear China, he said.
Oh, really? Let's read that line out for you. I'm not aware of the specific situation. I'd like to stress in principle that the Chinese side always asks overseas Chinese citizens to comply with the host country's laws and regulations. So they're not bound to the Chinese regulations, they're bound to the host country's laws and regulations. We firmly oppose acts by the U.S. that groundlessly malign and smear China. Well, you know.
Oh my god, I found it.
What did,
Oh my
what
god.
did you find?
This is so fantastic.
There's
This is
that
what they're scared of, to the point that they are trying to conspire with other individuals in our government to burn this statue. Oh my god. Oh my god. There is
See, Killshot says, okay, it's almost 3 a.m. over here. I'm going to have to go to bed. Have yourselves a good night. You're at 2 hours 54 minutes, just so you understand where you're at. That way, when you go over to Rumble to catch the rest of it tomorrow, you can actually know where you're at. About 3 hours in.
California Xi Jinping virus.
Toybox says, "What the hell? Nice."
Yeah, look, it says CCP virus at the bottom with a map over here on the brick wall. Like it's got the whole thing. It's got everything. It's even got the hammer and sickle on this side. Can I go back to the other image here? Yeah, there we go. See, it's got the hammer and sickle on the other side. And then there's the Taiwan flag and American flag. Oh my god. There's that. Yeah, this is what they burned. I'm gonna have nightmares. Oh my god. This is so freaking hysterical to me. Like this makes Xi Jinping uncomfortable. Why is that? I don't see any resemblance. I mean, okay, maybe it's like exactly identical. Maybe it is a little close there. It is a little close, I guess. Now that I actually think about it. Oh my god. So this is so these federal people were conspiring to have this statue burned on behalf of the Chinese.
Okay, sorry, Ed. Somebody jumped over in Discord real quick. He's going to come join us for a few minutes.
Oh, is this ID?
No.
Oh, I see who it is. I see who it is. Both of your mics are muted. What the hell?
Mine?
Oh, over on Discord.
It's because I shut it back off.
Oh.
Because I threw him a link in private. So he's gonna come talk to us for a few minutes. He said he was gonna set up his own stream, and he thought I was just sitting in Discord. So while we wait for him to come in, so here's look at this one. It says Biden-Harris feud intensifies as rumors swirl. He's finished. Oh, really? Yes, we're going to listen to it again.
The dismal approval ratings for the Biden-Harris administration are not looking good for the Democrats in 2024.
No shit.
Biden has failed in most aspects of his agenda and is weakly perceived. His vice president, rather than stepping up to fill the gaps, has been either invisible or extremely ineffective. With midterms looming in the fall, what are the Democrats to do?
So, Jimmy?
The answers are coming.
Yo,
in a scathing piece published by Newsweek, Professor Jason
Y'all guys are doing it lazy.
Tonight was kind of a strange night. If you actually went back and watched like the first hour, it was myself with Dragon Man and Dwight. We just kind of were chewing the shit. We didn't really go through anything in particular. Finally, AmericaShirts showed up, and then we started actually going through stuff. Dwight stayed with us for a while until his girlfriend decided to wake up and break up the fun, I guess.
Rough.
Oh, since Jimmy is here, pull this wonderful piece of art back up on the full screen real quick.
Still there.
This is
There it is.
Oh my goodness! What
So the last article that we were listening
the
to,
hell am I
whatever,
looking
it
at
said
here?
it said that 2 Biden officials had committed treason, facing serious charges.
Well, they weren't
And
actually
it
charged
basically,
with that, but you know, with
right?
treason.
But it's basically what that says is what they call that, a coronavirus molecule.
Oh my god!
It's
that
Xi
they had destroyed
Jinping
back
as
Oh my fucking golly! Wow.
And so this
Um,
statue, like, let me pull the bigger picture of this up here.
This
I am
episode
now-
will not stay on
I am
This
YouTube.
says
now a
CCP
modern art
virus.
connoisseur.
And then over here, you have the coronavirus map on the brick wall beside it.
Where can I go visit this?
You can't. They burned it.
They burned it. It's gone.
It was the conspiracy between 2 federal agents from the Department of Homeland Security working with other individuals on the ground. They had a whole kit and caboodle going after people that were dissenters of the Chinese government, and they had paid people. What was it they paid, or how did they do that exactly? To go in and not sabotage, but go in and burn the thing.
Whoa.
It says the conspirators allegedly plan to demolish
I mean,
the
so-
artwork of
so if you look
California-based
at
Chinese
this-
sculptor.
Imagine
Oh,
if they put
sorry, I
that
interrupted you.
kinda...
Repeat that.
Oh, I interrupted you. Repeat that.
Yeah, Koolfrogg was reading it off.
No, it's fine. So it says in another case, the conspirators allegedly plan to demolish the artwork of a California-based Chinese sculptor critical of the Chinese government. The dissident artist's sculpture depicting Chinese President Xi Jinping as a coronavirus molecule was destroyed in the spring of 2021.
Oh, it's long dead then, huh?
Yeah, California Xi Jinping CCP virus burned. Artist, the CCP will not succeed.
Oh my gosh.
So again,
This was some
Xi
base
Jinping-
Chinese person, you know. I guarantee.
Oh my god, it was. Oh, totally was. and just so we're all aware, Xi Jinping apparently was very terrified of this, of this statue.
Oh, it scared him, huh?
It was very terrified there. You know, very scary imagery there.
I didn't recognize him without the hair.
I mean, I was telling Koolfrogg. I mean, I was kind of like, well, I don't think there's that much of a similarity. But when I kept looking at pictures of him in comparison to this, I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah,
I think there is.
Look at the
There is a
eyelids
similarity.
and like the contours of the cheek. Hell yeah, that's.
Well, I was thinking more of like this side with like
you can
the
see,
duck
right. You can
face,
see the
but,
cheek
you know.
going up to the nose. The way right, exactly. You're like, oh yeah, that's totally him.
I mean, I see the. I mean, it's like identical twins. I mean, you know.
Yeah, that's fucking him. Wow, I am now definitely a connoisseur of modern art. I thought the spoon in Minneapolis was fucking ridiculous, but now I'll take a second look.
That spoon is pretty funny.
It's fucking ridiculous. I'm still gonna take a second look. I want to kiss the man that made that, and or woman. It's beautiful.
It had to have been a man. It's too fucking ugly.
Yes, I'd like to believe women have more elegance than that.
But yeah, these last couple of articles, we were playing it lazy or whatever, and allowing, because the argument between myself and Dwight, because Dwight kept on cutting me off and going off a subject or whatever, it was just too much. And I'm like, all right, I gotta rest my vocal cords for a few. So we're listening to these ones instead. So. And a couple of things that were said, this episode will not stay on YouTube. It will be removed immediately after we're done.
Oh.
And you'll only find it on Rumble.
Rumble.
Thank you, Rumble.
Just saying.
You're still so based.
I know, right?
That's for everybody.
Oh, and
else that's
also for
listening.
those who are here, I forgot to even mention this earlier. I should have mentioned it when I was talking.
All
I
two
am
of
planning
us?
on posting a couple of things. Oh well, you know, I'm planning on posting a couple of things to Rumble here very soon.
So yeah, make sure you check out AmericaShirts as well when you're over there.
Oh, you meant the chat.
Yeah.
I thought you meant
Yeah.
I thought you meant like those who are here, as in like present in the stream.
No, we don't care about you.
Yes, Jimmy.
I was like,
you.
I was like, all
we're
two
telling
of
you.
us. So anyway, when was this thing again?
Oh, this article or the
this article is
statue?
from today. So this is
Oh.
Biden-Harris feud intensifies as rumors swirl. He's finished. Toy boxes. I'm still here, barely. I'm dying inside.
It's dying.
Here, I can give you some therapy, Toy Box. Check this out. I'm gonna turn on my camera.
Oh, there you go. He's gonna color his.
Pikachu.
He's coloring his Pikachu. He drew it live earlier. It was fun to see.
Yeah.
The dismal approval rate.
My wife actually, my
Pikachu?
wife's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Oh, it's Jimmy YouTube, and he's drawing stuff or whatever." And explain the last couple of things that you had drawn in the last few days. So then, when I actually come in my office to actually do stuff for tonight, she come up behind me and she's like, "I want to see what he was drawing." And she's seen what you were drawing. She's like, "Wow, he's good."
Aw. I appreciate your wife. She's nice.
She's an artist herself.
Oh, really?
So for an artist tech, yes, absolutely.
What does she do? Draw, paint, sculpt?
Mainly paint. She likes to do like the drop paint stuff or whatever.
Yes, does she sculpt? Does she sculpt images of does she sculpt baked images?
She sculpts my shaft every night.
She sculpted his man-made
Oh,
vagina. Hey, fuck it, it's not staying on YouTube.
Ratings for the Biden-Harris administration are not looking good for the Democrats in 2024. Biden has failed in most aspects of his agenda and is weakly perceived. His vice president, rather than stepping up to fill the gaps, has been either invisible or extremely ineffective. With midterms looming in the fall, what are the Democrats to do? The answers are
She's
coming.
been invisible.
In a scathing piece published by Newsweek, Professor Jason Nichols notes how we are stuck with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. It was the meme of the week, Joe's gotta go. It felt like every liberal news outlet took part in the week of a scathing critique of President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, with many even from the president's own party suggesting he commit to not running in 2024, Nichols wrote. This is not to say that Joe Biden's presidency has been entirely successful. Many feel he has been unable to secure important legislative victories or fulfill campaign promises, despite having a majority in both the House of Representatives and the Senate. President Biden also failed to secure voting rights or police reform, both big issues for African Americans, who also happen to be the Democrats' most loyal and important voting bloc, he added. Nichols declared, the president also appears helpless in the fight to protect bodily autonomy and health care for women and girls in the wake of the reversal of Roe v.
Women
Wade,
and
while
girls?
Biden's signature piece of legislation, Build Back Better, died in the Senate, where he couldn't even rally consensus.
Yes, it said women and girls.
Wasn't that what he is in his son's phone, Pedo Pete?
Yes.
I fucking love
Protect bodily autonomy and health
that's
care
what I was
for
saying earlier,
women
Jimmy.
and girls
Yeah.
in the wake of reversal.
Was like everybody just needs to go off and just start referring to him as Pedo Pete now.
Oh my
Just
gosh,
all the time.
You
Every
said
day.
that. I was just gonna say. I just heard this earlier. Who the fuck said that? It was fucking you.
Every day, Marjorie Taylor Greene, every time she references Joe Biden, the hell with his real name, she just needs to just keep referring to him as Pedo Pete.
Oh my gosh.
And just go with it. Just keep it. I just keep going with it. Everybody.
She could probably get in some serious trouble for that. Like some big shit,
Maybe.
you know.
Pikachu.
Wade, while Biden's signature piece of legislation, Build Back Better, died in the Senate, where he couldn't even rally consensus within his own party. And it's unlikely that the president will be able to deliver much of anything in the final 2 years of his term, as Republicans are poised to take the House of Representatives. Nichols is not the only one sounding the alarm bells about Biden and Harris, and these bells have been ringing for a while. It seems there is a classic blame game going on. Late last year, a CNN report alleged that White House insiders are painting a picture of total chaos and discontent between Biden and Harris. Kamala Harris is a leader but is not being put in positions to lead, a top Democratic donor said. Biden should be putting her in positions to succeed, as opposed to putting weights on her. If you did give her the ability to step up and help her lead, it would strengthen you and strengthen the party. That chatter has already reached top levels of the Biden orbit, according to one person who's heard it, CNN reported. She's perceived to be in such a weak position that top Democrats in and outside of Washington have begun to speculate privately, asking each other why the White House has allowed her to become so hobbled in the public consciousness, at least as they see it, the report said. Republicans and right-wing media turned Harris into a political target from the moment she was picked for the ticket, and implicit racism and sexism have been constant. Harris has not shown herself to be a leader, as there have been rumors about her abrasive management style, but it seems the liberal media is pushing her.
Management?
Now that both Biden and Harris have been shown to be lacking for the job, Democrats are taking sides as to which is the better candidate for the 2024 bid, or rather more to the point, which one is the lesser
Royal
option.
biatch.
In an explosive story last month from New York Magazine, titled, "There Has to Be a Backup Plan." There's a backup plan, right? Inside
Right.
the 2024 soul-searching that's happening in every corner of the Democratic Party, author Gabriel De Benedetti discusses how Democrats are facing a reckoning. In the article,
Fucking
De
love
Benedetti
it.
notes that rather than with
Stop
Trumpism
saying it.
reascendant, ambivalent
Fucking De Benedetti. I can't fucking believe this shit. Who would do that to their lineage? I'm fucking dying. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Shit.
We'll see if we can make it through this last minute here.
Oh
real
my
quick.
gosh.
Let's go.
He had to take his glasses off.
Benedetti
His
discusses how
glasses
Democrats
just
are
drop
facing
and he's just crying.
Oh shit.
a reckoning. In the article, De Benedetti notes that rather than with Trumpism reascendant, ambivalence about Biden's age and political standing is fueling skepticism, just as the image of his understudy, Vice President Kamala Harris, dips even further than his. The most recent analysis from the Los Angeles Times has her net approval rating at -11. The result is a bizarre disconnect within the Democratic Party, with two factions talking past each other. One group consists of Biden and his loyalists, who are convinced that while the tickets numbers are undeniably bleak, they're historically unsurprising for a president and VP facing their first midterm and will surely bounce back. The second group comprises a broad swath of the Democratic elite and rank and file alike who suspect that vector.
Damn it, I just calmed down. You fucking...
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Of age, succession, and strategy have created a
The jokes
dynamic
just
with
get-
no
just
obvious
write
parallel in
themselves with these people.
Okay, let's see if we can make the 26 seconds. Did you hear that? That was Biden's brain.
Nothing in there, just blew in his ear.
Yes, that's
and
what it
file
is.
alike
That's exactly
who
what it is.
suspect that vectors of
You hear
age,
the ocean if you
succession,
put your ear
and
up to
strategy have created a dynamic with no obvious
Right.
parallel in recent history. Biden has to run again because he
sniffs their hair,
desperately
it's
has
like,
to
is
keep
that the
Trump out
ocean?
of the
Is
White
that-
House and defend our democracy, as one Capitol Hill supporter puts it. And I have no doubts Kamala Harris can't win, Conservative Brief reported. With two perceived losers in office, it seems Republicans have a clear path ahead.
With two losers in office.
Damn.
Oh, by the way, Jimmy, I've
Happy
been telling
Happy
everybody-
Taco Tuesday.
Yes, happy Taco Tuesday.
Oh, happy Taco Tuesday.
If you look at
Check out that screen.
yeah, you have to look at the screen. It's amazing.
What in the... Oh god. Jesus.
if you didn't catch her stuff from yesterday or from earlier today, I guess she goes and she calls Latinos
Fucking fogging up my
We
glasses.
can't get those things on our own. Raul helped build this organization with the understanding that the diversity of this community, as distinct as the polka
like
dots
your
of the
mustache.
Bronx, as beautiful
very
as
nice.
the blossoms of Miami, and as unique as the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio.
Okay, Okay, that had to be a clip
Breakfast
somebody put in
tacos
at the
here in
end, right?
San Antonio.
Yeah, that little booing sound. Yeah, that
Okay.
was.
I was gonna say, oh shit, did she really get booed that hard there?
And of course, Jack Posobiec titles this. He says, "A happy Taco Tuesday, Flotus."
Oh Jesus!
That's what I've been saying all night. It's like it's Taco Tuesday with Flotus. Again, the tacos. People are saying that it's supposed to stand for some certain Mexicanos.
Oh,
I'm just gonna
So,
skim
like,
this article
that's
real
the
quick
big
because
thing.
we're running over 3 hours right now. It's awesome. I love you guys. So it says Biden brags about importing record foreign workers to compete against Americans for jobs. Let's see if we can't get the
Koolfrogg,
numbers here real quick.
post the link. Give me the link to that previous article.
Wait, you love us? What are you fucking?
Yeah,
gay?
absolutely.
Like over Discord. Shoot that to me.
Yeah, sure. Because it was just too funny.
Yeah, I have to get the name.
Fucking De Benedetti. I cannot fucking believe somebody is named that in this world.
I sent it to you in private.
Bro, I got so fucking heated up, I had to turn a fan on. My glasses were like fogging up and shit. Fucking De Benedetti.
But apparently Joe Biden's bragging about importing record foreign workers to compete against Americans for jobs, right? So then he says U.S. and foreign workers in agriculture H-2A, non-agricultural H-2B visas. Last year, my administration set a record. We issued more than 300,000 H-2 visas for Mexican workers. We also reached a 5-year high on the visas we issued in Central America, and we're in the pace to double this in the fiscal year of Central America.
I mean, that's what Flotus. I'm just quoting Flotus. I'm not like. I mean.
Whatever. It's getting deleted. Hey, send me that clip of us laughing.
How are they all Mexican workers if they're coming from Central America?
I mean, I guess it depends on how many of them eat tacos. Is how you determine that.
Only if you go to San Antonio. Look at this. It says there's approximately 11.5 million job openings in the United States right now and 14.73 million employable Americans. This means that 3.23 million more workers in the country than open jobs.
Jesus.
That's ridiculous.
Can you play They Took Our Jobs from South Park? I feel like it's appropriate.
Wait, the what?
They took our gerbs. Some aliens came in, like from outer space aliens, and they took everyone's jobs in South Park.
That's on you, shirts.
Oh, it's coming.
Okay. Do not come.
Oh, I'm gonna come. De Benedetti.
So, and we're just going to fly through these last couple of reports here anyway. So this is U.S. drone strike kills top Syrian ISIS leader Mahar al-Agal. We drone strike somebody in Syria.
That name is
When's
way
the
more
last time
believable
somebody
than
drone?
Benedetti. Fuck
Benedetti.
I don't even fucking remember what it is anymore.
Benedetti.
I don't fucking remember. Is it Benedetti? Banana Dugga
I haven't been paying attention. I've been laughing and going through this so fast. I was stopped paying attention to. I'm sorry, Toy Box Brain. Here, check that out.
Oh, what's up?
Hey, homele. She knows us, eh? We like tacos, burritos, deep in the day. she is vivo at home.
Hey, you sound like the folks that were on my roof.
Perfect Toy Box. Perfect. Perfect Toy Box Brain. Oh my god.
But apparently we're drone striking people in Syria again.
God damn
We
it.
took out the new head of ISIS.
Oh wait, before we get too far into this, I do have the South Park playing up. If you want to throw that up,
Yeah.
I'm not going to read too much of it. I'm really not.
The you know.
Oh, there you go.
That was for the previous article there, but the other things. So, anyways, as we continue along here,
Did you turn a tally in there for a second?
And not that Joe. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just asking Shirts if you turned a tally in there for a second.
not as much as Benedetti.
Benedetti?
Benedetti.
Can't believe that.
Benedetti.
Banana Daddy. Banana Daddy.
Not that the previous administration didn't bomb people in Syria, because I'm sure he did.
Oh shit! Yeah, he just told the truth about it.
Right.
He just went on television and was like, "We just sent 2 Tomahawk missiles.
We're gonna
Right
send
for
those
those
bastards straight to hell. We put it right up their ass."
I mean, not that I necessarily agreed with that, but that was what was said. Yes.
We are sending fire
We
and
bombed
fury
them,
unlike which they've ever seen before.
Look at that senior ISIS official closely associated with dude. It was seriously injured during the strike. Extensive planning went into the operation to ensure its successful execution. An initial review indicates that there were no civilian casualties. I think that there needs to be an uprising of people that are complaining about us doing such a thing, because there was quite a few people that had an issue with us doing this when Trump did it. They threw a huge fit. I want to say
Trump
it was
did
what
that-
AOC and her little group of cronies.
It was reported on when Trump did it.
Yeah, when Trump did it to Syria, he did it to the Syrian government, Assad, because they told him that
Right.
he was chemically bombing people, which, again, U.S. shouldn't involve themselves in any of that anyway. And number two, I don't think he was doing that anyway. In fact, it was later revealed that all of those people were paid actors.
Oh.
So
right, but
that
there
was a whole
so many memes
hoax.
that came out right around that time that had those 3 women, AOC and her little group of whateverness, that they seriously picked on Trump the whole time. Like for a good couple months, you've seen memes come up about him being a bad person and actually doing such a thing. But now all of a sudden it's okay. It's okay that the left went and did it.
Funny how that works.
And
I
see,
think they
we
call
had a
that
right to
something.
take out ISIS,
A double.
but ISIS is gone. We don't need to just constantly bomb anybody that just has any affiliation with them at this point. Like,
What the hell do they call that? A double Sunday? Double soup? Double standard. It's a double standard.
Benedetti?
No, what they're doing.
Yeah.
It sounds like a little bit of double standard, the Benedetti.
The Benedict. Fucking A.
Look at that Breitbart report. Joe Biden considers selling offensive weapons to Saudi Arabia again.
We just gave a shit ton of money to Ukraine.
Oh, we're gonna give more.
No,
we're gonna continue.
You fuck man.
It's on target right now.
I'm not saying we want to, but
You know-
that's what this administration's gonna do.
Why the fuck do we always got to play by the rules and get bit in the ass for it when they can cheat all the fucking what they want and they don't get rats dick?
Because they don't care about us.
Ain't right, bro. Ain't right.
They don't give two shit. They don't give two shits about us as human beings. But now they're going to go and send offensive weapons, not defensive weapons, offensive weapons to Saudi Arabia.
What does Pikachu think
What
of
are
that?
we sending them? Here, let's take a quick dig through here to see what we're actually sending them. Among the biggest ticket items the Saudis would likely seek for precision-guided munitions, such as those approved under former President Donald Trump in the face of the obligations from members of Congress.
Objections.
But the Biden administration is expected to move cautiously as it discusses which systems might be offered. The anonymous source claimed that Biden would demand some progress in resolving the Yemen civil war before resuming the weapons sale. Is there war
The
in
hell
Yemen
does
now?
that mean? He wants some progress in the Yemen civil war
Right.
before they do.
Civil war. So as America, we must interject.
Yeah,
We
he's just
must
so
pick a
he's just
side.
literally publicly saying, "Well, Saudi Arabia, I mean, we would give you some more munitions to go after the Yemens to the south of you, but you know, we want you to make a little more progress there in taking out their government there and helping you know, stir their country to shit before we give you some more weapons." So you know, so he's just publicly stating this now. We're not even hiding it anymore. We're not even trying to make it sound good. We're just like, you know, it's just. You got to kill some more people before we give you some more. You got to
So it says
bomb some more stuff. You know, before we give you
Reuters
more bombs.
noted
You know.
Biden only blocked offensive weapons sales, and the United States has been open to selling defensive weapons throughout Biden's tenure.
I mean, that's such
going as
horseshit.
far as to support selling Riyadh an advanced terminal high altitude area defense system, THAAD, like the one South Korea agreed to purchase from the United States in 2016 to protect from North Korean attacks. And then it kind of goes on and says that we still remain in a technical state of war with, despite the Koreans' active hostilities period ending in 1953.
Yeah. We already know all that. Everybody knows that. At least they know that now.
So
sure.
We're still part of everybody else's civil wars. We're still part of as much
Except
as we possibly
Afghanistan's, because Biden was very strong in saying he didn't want us to be involved in Afghanistan's civil war. But then he just comes out publicly and tells Saudi Arabia to just keep going with their civil war, backing of the civil war, a group of the civil war in Yemen, to the south on the same Arabian Peninsula. So you know. In other words, Afghanistan was purposeful, and this is purposeful because it's all on purpose. It's all intentional to screw us and benefit.
leaders from the Saudi Arabia and the United. Oh shit! You know what? And I clicked on the wrong thing there.
I think my real question is though, it's like, what does Pikachu think of Benedetti?
He's just done with it. He's fucking pissed. I put my glasses on him and he hasn't fucking looked at me once since.
So it says these leaders from Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates have reportedly refused to take phone calls from President Joe Biden during the Ukraine crisis after he snubbed them repeatedly during the first year of his administration. The Saudis, Russians, and other members of the oil cartel have rejected President Biden's requests that they produce more oil to lower U.S. gasoline prices. And because he keeps on thinking that's what's going to lower our prices, not selling 100,000 barrels of oil to China, that didn't do nothing. We won't worry about the reserves that we have.
Impeach the bastard. Impeach him. I mean, you might as well just call that treasonous to sell our strategic oil reserves that are here in case of a domestic invasion, so the military has something to go on, and they just sold it off to the most hostile regime to America at this point, the Chinese. Not all of it, by the way. There were other nations, but you know, China, again, being obviously hostile.
Remember who this guy is?
Oh, this dude, this son bitch. Yeah, Bolton.
Listen what he has to say.
I don't know that I agree with you. To be fair, with all due respect, one doesn't have to. brilliant to attempt a coup.
I disagree with that. As somebody who has helped plan coup d'etat, not here, but other places, it takes a lot.
Oh,
I mean-
not here, but other
I
places.
mean,
Really, you've helped.
Holy shit! Now I was reading
Not
this
like
earlier.
sticking
I
our
hadn't
foots
watched
in our
this,
mouths.
but holy shit! Just right
Respect, one doesn't have to.
There's no conspiracy theories.
Why is there
Brilliant
a buzzer right there?
to attempt a coup.
I disagree with that. As somebody who has helped plan coup d'etat,
Yeah.
not here, but other places.
Not
it takes
here,
a
but,
lot
in
of
other
work.
places
And that's
we
not
do
what he
coup
did.
d'etats,
It was just stumbling around from one idea to another. Ultimately, he did unleash the rioters at the Capitol.
But
As
if
to that,
you
there's
suggest in the public eye that the United States has been involved in coup d'etats in other nations, like, I don't know, say the Ukraine. The overthrow
Or
of their government in
anywhere else
2013.
for that fact.
How about in Libya? How about in some of these other
Hey,
Arab Spring
Jules,
nations?
how's it going, dear? She says, hey there, boys. Missed your live last night. I hope it was just as you signed off. I did watch on replay.
Oh,
awesome.
Hey, what's up, Jules?
Cool. Thanks.
Awesome. Glad you're actually here. I believe this episode will not be on YouTube after we're done here. I'm going to go and remove it because of some of the stuff that we had actually talked about earlier in the show. It will be available on Rumble for the replay. Just to let you know.
Yep, go make a Rumble account and go over there. So yeah, John Bolton could just go on national television and just tell you, oh yeah, the United States does coup d'etats. And that's just fine. And we're all just supposed to sit,
He's just going to come out and straight up say, "Yep, we do that." That was
Again,
actually
everybody's
the last
already
thing I actually
noticed.
had.
Anybody that pays attention to jack shit involved with any of that, as far as like U.S. foreign policy, you know that they've done that since like the 50s and 60s. CIA and other and other agencies and so forth. They have military intelligence. They've done this. And so, but if you suggest anything like that, it's like, oh my god, like the U.S. is doing this kind of shit. The U.S. is involving itself. The U.S. Oh my god, you're crazy. And then John Bolton just comes out on TV and just tells you, just point blank on freaking CNN to all the libtards watching. Oh yeah, we do coup d'états. Oh yeah, just not here. This wasn't. No, of course not. It's like, oh, of course you wouldn't try anything not here. No. You just literally pathologically, the government just pathologically tried to do the same freaking color revolution style bullshit in 2020. That totally did not happen. You just followed the exact same playbook. We don't do that kind of thing here, so just don't look at that. But we do it, folks. You do it. But just trust us. We'll never do it here. Says John Bolton. Because we all know how trustworthy John Bolton is.
So everybody can see what Pikachu looks like before we pull this other screen back up.
Pikachu.
There you go. He's nice full screen for you.
Pikachu.
So, now that the two of you are here, I watched this earlier. I watched it with Dwight before AmericaShirts had showed up.
Hey man, I'm not comfortable watching no prawns with y'all.
No, that's not what it is. It is a little disturbing. This is the footage that had actually come out of.
We're not going to watch Hunter Biden's iPhone footage right now. There, Jimmy. We're not gonna do that just yet. No.
Oh gosh, did he make porn?
Pokemon Go flashbacks. Pikachu.
But this is the released footage from today, from the Robb Elementary Uvalde shooting stuff, and it shows the time frame of how long it took them to actually take care of the situation.
Oh, T Electric did something on that.
Warning: the following video footage audio is it's very disturbing. So in May 24th, surveillance video shows a truck crash at the Robb Elementary. See, boom, he crashed. People went to go check it out, and dude's shooting at these two as they go run away.
Criminy. So he's shooting coming out of that fucking truck.
So the teacher calls 911 to report the gunman. This is 11:31:55 seconds. The kids are all running. She's like, oh my God. I'm going to actually take us off screen. The gunman begins shooting at the school from the parking lot. Get down, get in your room, get in your rooms. Bystander video captures a gunman entering the school.
There he is. Just walks right in.
Just walks in. There's nothing stopping him from actually just walking in. The door wasn't jammed open. It was just he pulled on it and it opened.
What the fuck?
Right, and he goes and he walks through. You can see the time, 11:33, 20 seconds. There's a little child comes around the corner and catches him shooting into this classroom. He fires in 2 classrooms for 2. Authorities say more than 100 rounds were fired. Look at this. 3 minutes later, here's the first couple officers entering. It says police enter the school minutes after the gunman. Trained police officers.
Yeah, now they're gonna sit here for fucking ever.
Yep, that's the problem. That's the problem right there. Is they sit around. You can see they're up the hallway. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're spaced out. That way, if dude comes out of the classroom or whatever, they can eventually subdue the guy.
And there they are.
And there they'll stay.
Just stay in your poses, folks.
Yep, grab your phone, take a look at it. Make sure that nobody called you. There you go. 4 minutes later, officers retreat to the hallway and take cover after shots were fired by the gunman.
He looks like he's pointing like at his earpiece or something there.
Yeah. So 19 minutes later, more heavily armed officers continue to arrive, some with ballistic shields. You can see the shield.
The chief was there the whole time, literally holding these guys back. They're like, no, now we need 2. No, we need 3. God, fuck.
So you can see this guy's sitting at the other end of the hallway, this big long hallway that's here. You can see little shadows of people standing on the other end of it. That's these officers that are standing here, and these guys are standing on this side of the hallway. I was always having to multitask run errands and get Pokemon.
Yeah, they're talking about Pokemon Go in the chat.
People off their asses to hunt. Yeah, right? Look at 31 minutes later. 36 minutes later, still no rescue attempt happens.
Look, that one's on his phone. He's got paperwork.
48 minutes later, the gunman is heard firing 4 more rounds. He's been in there for almost 50 minutes, and he's still shooting rounds off.
Yeah, the first person on scene, I think, was the chief, and he didn't fucking do anything.
Chicken shit.
It ain't even about that. I feel like he's been told, or like a lot of the police have just been told something, maybe. Hold off.
Jules says, I don't think they were being pusses. I think they were tragically ill-prepared.
Well, I would disagree with that. They have 2 to 3
I would hope not.
shields. There's a guy right there in full-blown body armor and a helmet and everything.
Pretty sure first guy on scene in this situation.
There's another guy
like this
beside
just
him over
supposed to
there. You
rush.
see the guy with the helmet on? I mean, they're fully decked out.
Toy Box Brain says, I should be a police officer. I can sit on my fat ass and hold a large weapon and pretend I'm protecting something.
Right.
I know, right?
Look at these guys. They look like fucking soldiers. Couldn't be farther from.
They're all like, okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go down. 57 minutes later.
Wow.
Look at this
I
shit.
feel like I need to sanitize my hands because, I'm a police officer.
I mean, look how casually these people are walking back and forth. Look at this other guy over here that's in the black here. He's just standing there. He doesn't even have body armor on. It's like they're just standing around, just, like, whatever.
Jules says they had all the gear, didn't look like they knew what the fuck to do. So
They were held back the whole time.
So did nothing. Toybox says, seriously though, it's an elementary school. You can't even protect children. Once the gunman is practically standing on top of the bodies of children. Yeah, I mean, really, the children are pretty much gone. They're dead. 57 minutes later.
This guy's on his stone.
77 minutes later, officers breached the classroom and killed the gunman.
Unfucking believable. They should all be shot, but that police chief in
77
particular.
fucking minutes.
I gotta go, guys.
Yeah. Look at the dude on the phone.
Officers breached the classroom and killed the gunman. We're gonna also go here in a few seconds if you wanted to stay until we actually left.
Yeah, all right.
Okay. Why is he telling them to stand back?
We've been doing it
they
the whole
need to go and
fucking
check
time.
to see if there's any. They could go in there to see if these children are still alive.
Like, what the hell?
Right.
Like, oh, no, don't everybody rush to the stage now. Like, what? I know. I can't believe they allowed the video to be released in the first place. I thought it was
surprised
destroyed.
as well.
I thought they destroyed the evidence. At least that's what I was told.
But that's the disturbing. They released the exclusive video, and that was released today. And that's how horrible. 77 freaking minutes. You kidding me?
And remember, the police told us 3 different stories, all 3 of which, according to that video, was entirely inaccurate and untrue. They lied the entire time to the public, this entire time about this thing, until this comes out, and now we see just exactly what happened, which is these people are sitting around on their phone, texting, oh, I got this thing, oh, no, we're not going to go back here, some guy is not even in body armor or whatever, it's just like a casual event. We'll just stand here and let it happen, and after waiting is so long and letting things go on, then we'll go back and get it.
Jules says, "Hold me, I'm scared." That's what they were saying. Right, exactly. One thing is being unprepared. Another is standing around looking at your phone, getting some hand sanitizer and sticking fingers up your bums. Yeah, the whole freaking police force needs to be taken out and replaced with somebody that's going to have some balls to go take care of something. It's so disturbing.
But as the story goes, it was the chief of police there that told them to stand down. And as you watch the video, you see them on their phones, and that's what was being said, was that, like, you need to back, like, this is not happening, we're not doing whatever, da-da-da-da-da. And so they just are like, oh, no, it's like, okay.
I couldn't imagine standing there for over an hour and realizing that there's somebody that he most likely shot and they're no longer with us. I would be so upset with the whole situation. I would be running. I'd be like, screw you guys. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to take care of them.
I know.
Whether I get injured or not in the process, I'm going to take him out.
As a police officer is to help to defend the public, the general public, from people such as this especially. And, but if chief of police gives you an order to not do the thing that you're sworn to do, well, I'm sorry. My opinion, I agree. That's on you as an officer. You didn't do what you're supposed to do. You have a duty to the public before you have a duty to your superior. But that's how policing goes anymore in this nation. I mean, because that's what it is, right? It's just whatever the authority says. If the mayor of New York says that we're gonna arrest people because they don't have a freaking face diaper on at all times, then that's what the officers do. It's just, sorry, but I'm an officer. I'm only following orders. I'm only following orders. And look where it gets us. They're just brainwashed minions, brainwashed zombies, brainwashed just, mindless drones, just doing whatever, mindless little stooges and soldiers just marching to the beat of whatever the superiors say, acting as though they have no free will of their own to do what they've sworn
This
to do.
is what I'm saying right here. What Jules just said. He'd have gotten my verbal resignation and act as a civilian and handle what I could. Exactly. I don't care what the hell's going on. I don't care if I'm supposed to wait for some ballistic freaking shield, whatever. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to take him out.
Yeah, every one of those officers should have just said, fuck you, and just went in. Who gives a shit?
Especially if there's a couple of them. Yeah, one of them may have gotten injured, but at the same time, you did what you were supposed to do.
But it's like, what are you on your cell phone for anyway?
Civilians of
that's the other
earth.
thing. It's like, why are they back there? There's like two of them that are there, like looking at their phone and doing this and like scrolling through and like typing messages. Like, why are there messages being sent back and forth? Who gives a shit? You have an active shooter and you waited 77 minutes. That's over an hour. An hour and 17 minutes. So that's almost an hour and a half. And almost an hour and a half's worth of time before they even went into the room where he was at. And just let him go in there. And, he had already shot a bunch. But he, I don't know. I mean, you didn't know what he was going to do. They just let him stand in there and didn't do anything.
Right. Okay. So, that being said, we're at 3 hours and 45 minutes. Jimmy YouTube did come in here. If you liked what you seen him doing, what he was drawing, go check him out. Subscribe to Jimmy YouTube. He's done a drawing every day now for the last 4 days at least.
Is that right?
And I believe so, because I was in here with you when you did. I caught the Pikachu today. Yesterday you did Tim Allen. The day before you did Robin Williams.
Yeah.
The day before I wasn't with you, but I did catch you did John Wayne.
Oh, I suppose so. Yeah, that one got cut short.
You did John Wayne, did you, Pilgrim?
Yeah. Well,
so totally check out his stuff. His proper drawings. They're fun to actually see. And they're fun to actually watch him actually start with his blank piece of paper and progress through the couple hours of drawing or whatever and actually get a legitimate
he is the link
drawing.
at the bottom. His name is Jimmy YouTube, as you see it there on the screen.
Yep. It is
exactly
as you see the screen. I believe if you actually check the description, he's actually in the description.
Subscribe and ring the bell.
I've got
as
loads
you
more
always do
on TikTok, by the way. If any of you are on that Chinese garbage.
You're doing things on TikTok again?
Here and there, very rarely. I think the last thing I did was, I don't know, let me pull it up quick. Pretty sure I posted a couple drawings on
Jimmy YouTube. Yeah.
The freaking time-lapse things that I was doing, remember?
Oh.
With the video game characters.
Oh, yeah.
It's forever ago. Yeah, I haven't done anything since those on TikTok, but I have loads of drawings on there if anyone's interested.
There you go. I just threw his link in chat so that you guys can actually go subscribe to him. Obviously we all like subscribers.
Now, what Jimmy should do after we get a little bit of attention is like he should start like auctioning off his paintings
and drawings. It'd be cool to do shit on commission.
Or that.
That'd be fun too. That'd be fun too.
What's this?
But yeah, she threw your link back up after I did.
You silly salmon.
No, it's fine. So everybody should click on those links. And when I say click on the links, go down below and click on those Rumble links for myself and AmericaShirts. This episode will not be on YouTube. This will be deleted immediately after we go offline here. And there's a couple reasons why, because of some of the stuff that we actually talked about through the night.
Which is really too bad because it's a long ass episode. You could clip that out.
There's stuff that was said earlier that I'm concerned that we would get dinged for, and I'd be out for a couple weeks.
Well, after that bout of shit from what we just watched, as shitty as that was, and that was a little while ago, let's go out with a little bit of a laugh here.
No.
Oh look, it's Pedo Peter on the phone. Oh, with that,
I'm not going to press my lock toy box.
I wonder what Pedo Peter has to say.
Hey, Peter. Dad. Hey, son. How you doing? I'm doing good, Dad. I just saw your new video on Twitter. Oh, yeah? What'd you think? Oh, it's awesome, honey. Thanks, Dad.
The check engine light is on.
And I'm not just saying this because you're my son, but you smoke that pipe like a professional. Oh, thanks, Dad. I mean, you're the best at it. I ain't never seen nobody smoke a pipe like you. Thanks, Dad. And your junk. Oh, man. Your junk was looking huge. Thanks, Dad. You been taking them gas station vitamins like I told you? Every day. Yeah, me and Jill were watching your video together, and Jill leans over to me and says, "Damn, Joe, Hunter's junk looks bigger than yours." That's funny, Dad. Hey, how's that entitled cut doing, by the way? She's doing all right, you know. Same old, same old. Always telling me where to go and what to say. Yeah, I love that vindictive moron. Hey, I heard 4chan is sharing some of your videos and text messages. Yeah, isn't that cool? Yeah, that is cool. I can't wait to see the new ones. Yeah, there's a lot of them. You're so talented, son. Thanks, Dad. And thanks for keeping me out of prison. You know I say this all the time, but
What a fucking
you're the
national
smartest person I know. And I'm so proud of you. Thanks, Dad. All right, 4chan. You want some videos? I'll give you some videos.
That was the United Post.
Yeah,
Make sure
United
you actually
Spot.
check out the United Post.
That's on YouTube with the United Spot. They release a
United
video
Spot.
like every day or like twice a day.
Almost
or something.
daily. Yeah.
I like it's just so fantastic. You have to go subscribe to these people. I'm basically giving them like free freaking advertisements. Like, oh my god, it's so great.
Night, Jules.
Good night, Jules.
Night, Toy Box.
All right, say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye,
Yep,
everybody.
later, peeps.
Later.
Piss off, you wankers.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.